Today is Thursday, episode 44, right, of our GhettoRig podcast. We got Alex and Arthur in for you guys today. We were supposed to have a old friend of mine in, but some technical difficulties. Miggy's not here today. He's out watching Eladio Carrion in Orlando, which sounds like a lot of fun.
What is it?
What is that?
Eladio Carrion, he's a big like Latin trap artist.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have heard his song.
I probably heard of it. I just would have to hear it.
What do you pay for those tickets? Do you know?
I don't know. I'm not sure because I just I think only him, Bailey, and like her cousin went.
Mm-hmm.
So the rest of the group didn't really wasn't too focused on going. I've already seen him in concert more than once. I think it was actually because I saw him at a festival before, and then I've seen him like just him before in a club where he actually was.
Are we live on YouTube?
Yes,
Yep.
we are.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good. I made sure to hit go live this time. Yeah, he's a really good artist. Like really good. He's up and coming. Like not up and coming. He's already big. He's got a bunch of actually collabs, like features he's done with like American American music and stuff like that. Big artist.
Talking about the artist, guys, for those that are in the chat, we're gonna have an artist.
Right.
On
Right. So we were actually supposed to have my buddy Tommy Williams. He goes by Vonzel Sly. That's his artist name, and you can find him on iTunes, not iTunes, but like Apple Music. I think he's on like SoundCloud, a couple other platforms. We'll throw his stuff in the description for today, so you guys can get a sneak peek of who we're gonna have actually for Tuesday. This Tuesday coming up, I had to reschedule him. He was supposed to come in today, but like I said, with Miggy and stuff out, we'd rather him come in. We've got the full squad in, nice production quality. Today would just be on the single cam setup. Nobody's behind the cam messing with the stuff today. So what's up, y'all? How y'all did today?
What's up? What's up?
What'd you guys do? Work?
Work.
I didn't. I was supposed to work today, but I didn't go.
I went to Dr. Santos today, because I've been telling you that. I don't know. Did we talk about like how I have sleep apnea?
No.
All right, so I have sleep apnea.
Okay.
I think
You gotta get the machine,
Yeah.
or are you gonna go through like the procedures like Jorge and stuff like that?
the machine first.
Gotcha.
The machine, then we'll see what's going on. But to get that done, you had to have a physical and all that stuff, right? So they did. They measured my neck. Before I started doing jiu-jitsu, my neck was 16 and a half.
Yeah, we started on time, Space Dog. It's first time in a long time.
Yeah. So
Don't expect it.
Yeah, don't expect it. No. This is like once in a blue moon thing.
Because I showed up.
No, but I think it's because like simple setup. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
One
simple.
camera, just move the chairs how we want it, and it was really it. I actually didn't wake up from my nap until probably like 45 minutes ago.
Yeah.
'cause
They
it's,
think
like,
too
really
much
basic.
when they starting.
Yes.
It was like we always try to add new shit, right? Like we're still starting up, so we're getting new equipment. Like last time we were trying to set up a microphone and stuff, so that took a little while to get started, and it's always something.
we're
It's
still
always
gonna
something.
bring
And
in
if
another
not,
set of lights,
Yeah.
to.
and if not, it's like technical difficulties or something like that. Actually, you say lights.
We're
now.
thinking about having a ghetto rig on this wall too, as far as the sign for the.
I don't mean to
podcast.
spoil, but we got something already
Yeah.
in the works for behind us.
Nice. So, but yeah, so today, just to recap.
It was my fault.
I don't give a fuck.
So funny part was, bro, like when I went to Dr. Santos, like part of it, like you get questionnaire and ask a bunch of questions, to assess the situation. And then they're like, all right, so let me measure your neck. So when we went to measure my neck, right before jiu-jitsu, I was like 16 and a half. 16 was like nice. 16 and a half was a little more,
Bink.
little more towards my neck, right? But it was pretty loose. So when they measured my neck, it was 17. I was like, God damn. So apparently it's because of the size of my neck that I having these issues sleeping. So they're gonna send me a machine that basically goes on my thumb, and it's kind of like a watch, and I wear that when I go to sleep.
I don't mean to make fun of your like medical stuff, but god damn it, it feels a little good to know that you choke yourself because I can't choke you on the Sundays. That motherfucker, it's like, and it's funny because the same exact thing. His neck is just like so big that it's hard to wrap your hands
That
around
it's
it.
choking himself.
Exactly, there you go.
Yeah,
You
so
can't get a good squeeze on
What
him, but
what
he's
is-
choking himself when he sleeps. So
What does the thumb thing do? I don't get it.
So
I thought it's a machine
It's an
to breathe.
oximeter. It's an oxygen meter that
for
goes
sure.
on your
Yeah.
thumb, and then
I
that
got it.
machine is on your arm, and then it connects to your phone, and then records the data of oxygen levels in your body out of 100%, and then
To see if you need the Vader mask.
Yes,
But my watch does that.
it does. Your watch does that, but this is through the medical, so they approved this through
Okay,
FDI,
okay.
FDI. What is FDI?
the one on my watch, actually, the Apple Watch is approved. If
Yeah.
you get one of the newer Apple Watches, you can do the exactly what you're talking about. And
I've tried
In
it.
England, some insurance companies give you Apple Watches so
For that
that you
reason,
can
yeah.
track, to keep better prices
mean,
and premiums.
when I was having the whole thing, I was checking out my heart. The first thing Dr. Santos told me was, "Hey, do you have an Apple Watch? Because like you can do the EKG there and check out what's going on. Like not necessarily officially, but like we can see what's going on like real quick without necessarily having to set up an appointment.
But the only problem that I have,
the EKG, I have to put my finger on the thing here, and it does it for 30 seconds.
the only problem I have, I used to have an Apple Watch, and I wore it once or twice to sleep, and I can't sleep. Anytime there's any type of electronics attached to my body, I can't sleep. So with this shit, I don't know if I'll be able to sleep. You know what I mean?
That's gotta be
Mental.
1,000%. Because I have slept with watches, right? Watches since 6th grade, right? No problem. Like you seen my the one
regular
had
watch I have no issues with.
but with like the one with the leather band, and then I had a smartwatch. Remember the Motorola one that I gave to Lynette? The Nando gave me. I slept with that, and then I have watches I slept with, and I sleep with this no problem. It's all the same.
I don't know, man.
mental, bro.
I
1,000%.
sleep a lot with it, but sometimes it bothers me.
Because I slept with my
in
ring
terms
on
of
and no
stress.
problem.
Every once in a while, I get like fuck, and
I don't sleep with
I take it off and I put it to charge or whatever. But most of the time I sleep with it on because I like to track my
it.
sleep.
Same.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see what's gonna happen. So I guess June 7th they're gonna deliver. So I'm gonna actually give you a recap, guys, on this once I get it, like what the data says and stuff like that, and just kind of you go with the process with me. So, but then I want to get this mask. Like I don't, because I sleep on my belly, so I don't want to get the Vader mask, the actual Vader mask, because I can't sleep with that, right? I found there's a Philips mask that comes in from the sides and it goes to your nose, and the air connects right here. And with that one, even if you sleep on right or left hand side, even if you block the tube, the other one is open that provides oxygen. So it's kind of a,
I'm gonna when he gets the mask, I'm gonna have him remake that scene from Obi-Wan when he's got like the mask smashed open.
Yeah.
We'll make you read a couple lines out.
So you sleep on your stomach. Do you sleep with pillows or without pillows?
Bro, it's weird. Like, are you talking about like body pillow?
Body pillow or one for your head?
Head, yes. Head pillow, yes. And it can't just be any fucking pillow, too. Like, that's the weird part. Like, it has to be a specific pillow. Like, the only time that I was able to sleep really well in United States was at my buddy's house, and he had this fucking old ass goose feather pillow that he gave me, like a throwaway pillow. I slept on that like a fucking baby. From there on, bro, I've got Tempur-Pedic, I've got the purple pillow, you name it. I fucking spend money on pillows, and it's just not it, you know.
Yo, I don't know what it is. My pillow's made out of. I think it's from the brand, like an allergy brand.
Yeah.
Right. It's It's actually a Claritin pillow. Right. It's a Claritin pillow. Bro, that is the best pillow I've ever had in my life. It is so like not fluffy, like it's really soft, and then like your head sinks into it perfectly, and like it creates the form of your neck really well. But it's not too stiff at the same time to where when you roll around, like your neck's bending around and shit.
That I get that with a purple pillow. The one I have is a Tempur-Pedic from Costco. Not a Tempur-Pedic, but that material. You know what I'm talking about?
The fake Tempur-Pedic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's supposed to
The
be
memory foam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a cooling one. So when I lay down on it, it's pretty cool. Like it's got that cooling.
You know, I for years, probably 17, 16 years, I slept on like a normal setup, right? Just mattress with the fitted sheet. And then I got with Emily, and her mom got one of those cooling sheets that you put under your normal fitted sheet. And I'd never noticed a difference.
No.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
I have a cooling one.
I'm so ready to take it off. Yeah, it's bullshit. Because it's so big. Like, it's bigger than a normal fitted sheet, and like it moves around under the thing. And if anything, I feel like it just kind of creates more heat because like it's more material.
Because with the sheets, you can never get the fucking size right. You buy ones, they're too tight. The other ones, you buy them, they're too
I hate the ones that when you wake up, they're fucking off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those are the worst.
You always gotta buy a size up.
So
No matter what your mattress is, size up.
So, bro, I think it was in Bell's or something, in like one of those stores.
I had very specific ones that only
They have these
the size are
You know, like those. What do you call those? The things that you put on your pants.
suspenders.
Suspenders.
Yeah.
But not the suspenders that have the buttons, but they have those clips, like those alligator
The
clips.
clips, yeah.
Yeah, they sell those specifically for the sheets. So I bought a pair, and I do like a crisscross, and that shit stays on there, bro. Like, you want to go the extra mile, you get another two, and you put them like across, you know, instead of like from angle to angle, like you put them like across, and that sheet is not gonna move whatsoever. You know what I mean? After a while, I'm sure that the rubber is gonna give up and start fucking deteriorating, so you gotta get a new one.
Everything
But that
wears
thing's
and
been
tears,
working.
right?
Especially
for
if
me,
you're
bro.
doing the do on it.
Yeah, if you're doing the do on it.
Doing
Yeah.
the stretches.
Like someone I know that broke their bed doing that shit. Like legit told the story. Like yeah, that was
I've
going
broken
down
my
and
bed.
we fucking bed caved in. And
I've broken my bed. My bed before was broken because of that.
Stupid.
But
Why you going so hard in the
Jumping,
paint, bro?
jumping.
Why you going so hard in the paint?
Hey, jumping from his clothes thing.
Fucking WWE shit.
No, when
From
she
the
says,
top, bro.
when she says go harder, then you do like really, really hard. So she never asks for it ever again, because this fucking takes energy. Nobody want to fucking exert that much energy.
You ever seen the video?
The problem is when they like it. That's when you're like, fuck, what did I do by myself?
You ever seen the video?
Hey,
when
that's
the,
just cardio.
when
Yeah.
the guy
Alex
is
was like a
laying
rabbit.
down and then he gets the girl. He's like, okay, go harder, and she's like 20 seconds later tired. She's like, how you feel? Hey, I feel.
All I can
Exactly.
say,
She
bro,
was just doing that normal grind too.
I've heard of
Like
one guy that was talking like a comedian. I don't remember what it was. He was like, "Man, she be talking about deeper. What you want me to hit you with the bookshelf, bitch? Like,
yeah.
Oh,
But I'm
shit.
telling you this.
there's no
now-
more left."
Now, you know, what's the allegedly? This is what you
Yeah.
do, Eddie.
Allegedly.
But since you started doing jujitsu, I promise you, like, kind of like notice how long it took you to do the do now,
Yeah,
and when
yeah.
you're like starting to like, you know what I mean? And after like 2 years, it's gonna be like a fucking night and day difference.
Machine, the
Bro.
fucking
Like now,
robot.
I just keep going because like
Machine.
it ain't shit
Your
in
cables.
comparison.
I was thinking, what the fuck is squeaking?
Stamina
Your
shit.
cable's rubbing against the mic,
Oh.
and it's going.
It ain't like in comparison. It's nothing. It's nothing, bro. Like amount of energy you exert in jujitsu versus like in bed,
yeah,
bro.
no.
Like in bed is a child's play. Like
Yeah.
what you want faster? I
The
got
pussy's,
you.
the pussy's not trying to murder you,
Yeah.
right? Like it's not trying to take
Say
your head
less,
off
you know what I
or
mean?
bend your arm over.
Say less. Oh, but talking about that,
Man,
so-
I'm mad we're not doing fucking jujitsu for like who knows how long.
yeah.
It's
haven't
like
been.
we didn't go last week, right? We're not going this week, and then the week before that we didn't, right?
Yes.
No, we did.
We did
We did.
before that.
But this week we're not.
I wouldn't
Next week we're
know
not.
what
and then,
jujitsu is. So.
and then the weekend after that we're not either. I think.
Oh, I don't know.
Shit, you know what it is?
Yeah, I won't be there. You will, guys. But I won't
Ozzy's
be there.
birthday Friday.
Friday,
Yeah.
where we going? His house.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's gonna be lit. Take a
Right.
bottle with me. Get
I
lit.
need to buy fucking something.
I'm gonna buy him.
Or I'm gonna buy a bottle
I'm-
because
I'm
I don't
gonna
want
buy
to
him
take my.
something. I'm not gonna
import
say it
shit.
on a stream because he might be listening. I'm gonna buy him something. So if you're gonna buy the bottle, that's fine. But I'm gonna buy him something because I know he wants that.
Well, we can talk later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Emily gotta grab him something.
But so oh yeah, talking about the doing the do right. So this was like 10, 15 years ago or something like that, right? I had a girlfriend, and then so we were hanging out the night, and she was supposed to come over, and she's like, "Oh, this kid Ricky had a kid with his girl, just brand new kid," and she's like, "Well, I'm gonna go see the kid." Yeah, whatever, and she was there till like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, whatever, and then she came over. And then the next day, I was in valet working with my buddy Dennis, and he's like, "Yeah, this is where I'm." He's like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "She was there for how long?" I was like, "Till 11, 12. He's like, "To do what?" I was like, "Well, she was there to see the kid." He goes, "Are you fucking retarded? What kid, what newborn stays up till 12 at night?" I'm like, wait a minute. So apparently this bitch was trying to hang out.
Then I said, game.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, apparently this bitch was trying to hang out with this kid, right? Like we ended up after that. She never smashed him or anything like that. I was like, to the streets shall you go? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I knew that kid that she was trying to hang out with was chasing after this other girl, right?
Yeah.
And I knew the girl. And she used to work with me back in the day, and then she left. This was like 6 months down the road. So me, my buddy Dennis, and his ex-fiance then, went out. Back in the day, there was Green Iguana, the bar of a whatchamacallit, right? Off of Tyrone, when you take Tyrone to the beach to go over that bridge, right? Right before the bridge on the left-hand side,
You
there's
know
that
the
green...
boat place? Across the boat place.
Across the boat place.
Okay.
There, right before you hit the park on the left inside. So we're there. I see her, and I was like, "Hey, Karen." The Karen was the her.
That was Karen.
Yeah. So we're hanging out there, blah blah blah. I started dancing with this girl, whatever. I was like, "Hey, Karen, you need to invite her over." to your place because we're gonna go to Dennis's and Karen's place. She's like, yeah. She's like, why? I was like, I'm gonna smash this girl, like as a revenge. You know what I mean?
Did you know the guy though?
Yeah, I knew the guy.
Oh.
As a revenge, I'm gonna smash this girl as a revenge. You know? She's like, yeah, right. I was like, you just fucking invite her and don't worry about it. You know? So she invites her over. We're at Dennis's house. You know, we're still drinking, doing our thing, blah blah blah, dancing. You know, obviously got drunk and it's time to go to sleep, right? Since time to go to sleep. There was an air mattress.
Sleep.
We get to sleep, right? So talking about doing the do. So
You
guess
popped
to the
an air mattress?
no. It was worse. Bro.
It was worse? Okay.
It was worse, bro. So I'm there, boom, boom, boom. Like she's on top, smashing. And then she's like, I need to stop. I'm like, you need to stop? What the hell are you talking about? Why do you need to stop?
Hey, Alex, wait. Sorry, Alex, hey. Ain't nobody trying to have a Natalie Black go to jiu-jitsu, okay? We
Just
haven't
saying.
gone, and
Conspiracy
I was just
theories.
Yeah, conspiracy, yeah. No, Natalie, yeah, sorry, we're lacking.
Conspiracy shit.
You can blame Ozzy.
There are a lot of conspiracy theories, but this is definitely not one of them.
So your air mattress.
Yeah, the air mattress. So she's on top and smashing. She's like, I need to stop. I was like, all right, you need to stop. Usually I'm the one that need to stop. Like, recover.
Take
after,
a
like,
breath.
After you've been horny and there's been a little dry season. You got a good 10 minutes in you. Then you kind of have to stop because you still want to perform. Then you're pretending you're changing position, but in reality, it's all... you all know what I'm talking about. Yeah. You all know what I'm talking about. Giving out the game right now. So I was like... She's like, all right. I'm like, all right, stop. Then, after a couple of minutes, you continue again. Like, she's not getting off of me. She's like still on top, right? Continue doing it. I need to stop again. All right, fine. On the third time, I was like, bitch, you're not stopping. We're just going to continue going. And she's like, no. As I go, next thing you know, it just goes all over me. Like, she just...
Let it go.
Let it go, bro.
Let it go.
And I was like, what the fuck? She's like, did I tell you I needed to stop?
So now you gotta clean up. Now you've made an ocean in someone's living room on
a mattress that we're supposed to sleep, bro. You talking about a broken mattress? No, the mattress wasn't broken. We had to sleep on a goddamn floor because they showed us all.
It's an air mattress too, so that shit ain't soaking in.
Nope. That shit ain't going nowhere. And then...
And a lot of air mattresses have like the cotton top.
Yeah.
To where it's still gonna soak in on just like that top layer.
So and then throughout the night, right? Like as we're like before he got to that point, and she kind of like left. Like, oh, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. We're like, yeah, whatever, just go to the bathroom, right? She goes to the bathroom, comes back, and then the next morning, we figured out she couldn't find the bathroom. So she ended up peeing in a closet in my buddy Dennis's and Karen's closet because she couldn't figure out where the bathroom is and like she couldn't hold it anymore. And she pissed in the closet.
On the floor?
On the floor, yeah. She just squatted and pissed in a closet on the carpet.
I've been so drunk once that I pissed in a trash can.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, the trash can. I mean, yeah.
Sink or a bottle, whatever,
A sink
I'm
or a
sure
bottle.
I've pissed in the sink.
I've done the bottle on the road.
I've pissed in the sink.
I've done the bottle on the road. You've had to piss in the sink before.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
I've
Working
pissed.
construction, sometimes the toilet's not there. Sometimes the sink's not there. You never know.
There's no hole. I'm gonna find a hole.
Exactly.
This shit happened to me in Valet. I was on my own at the pier, bro, and I wanted to piss, but I couldn't. It was so fucking busy. I just fucking went to the valet booth, closed my door, and then pissed in it. And back then, I was dating a girl that was also working
in the valet box
in a bottle, like a GhettoRig bottle,
and
and then closed that.
just let it go.
Yeah, I didn't have time to get rid of the bottle, right? Like I didn't have time to get rid of the bottle. Like there's no garbage cans. I didn't have time to get rid of it. Anyway, the point is, the girl that I was dating, she comes out as it literally like just starts like. There was the last car left for me to park, and then I was gonna go throw away the bottle, and I saw her come out, and she went inside, and she's standing there looking at me with these big ass eyes. I was like, "What the fuck did I do now?" She's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "I pissed in a bottle." "What do you mean you pissed in a bottle?" And she got so fucking upset because I pissed in a bottle. I was like, "Bitch, I'm busy. What the fuck do you think I'm gonna do? Of course I'm gonna piss in a bottle." Like what else do you do?
Yeah, that was probably the worst thing in the valet when you're working alone and you gotta fucking piss and you can't piss and you got like 20, 30 cars pull up at once and you're fucking for hours like, bro, you...
And I think that's part of the
You
reason
piss.
where like clockwork, when I wake up in the morning, I shit, bro, like clockwork, because you had to do that like in the house before you went to valet.
You know, grade school taught me that shit. Like, you'd rather just shit in the morning, and then, like, for example, like, my body was on a straight schedule. I would be walking home from the bus stop, and by the time I was getting halfway up the block, my body was like, it's time. It's time.
Yeah.
We've been waiting all day. It's time.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, I don't know about your school, but mine was hella underfunded, so we didn't even have locks on our fucking
my school
stalls.
My school,
Locks
my
on the
county.
stalls.
Yeah, we didn't have
They'll
anything.
never-
If you want to take a shit, you had to hold the door
They'll never
while you
admit
were shitting.
this. They'll never admit this, but my county hates St. Petersburg
I
High
think
School.
it's every county's like that.
No. I'm saying my county hates St. Petersburg High School specifically for more than other schools for certain reasons, being that they wanted to break down the school years ago, and then the school was
So it's like a money pit for them, and they just don't want to spend money.
exactly. It's cost them too much money. It's the oldest school here. It's been open since before 1900. It was 1880s, 1890s.
St. Pete High?
St. Pete High, where I went. If you go and you look, bro, that main building, when I was there,
Wait,
it was
so-
falling apart. We were in the courtyard, and you just hear, boom, ceiling tiles falling in the courtyard. Bro, easily fuck somebody up. Easily would fuck somebody up.
So you
We
telling
used to-
me-
when it would rain, I'm sorry, but like, listen to this. When it would rain, it would flood the whole main building. I would just go home. The AC would go out constantly. The lights would go out in buildings constantly. It's just fucking old at school. Apparently they remodeled it now, but what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, since 18 something, you had the school in St. Petersburg, right? And you still have fucking uneducated motherfuckers that live here.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's funny when I was going there, it wasn't until like my fourth year that they started zoning. They started this thing where they were zoning more south, because when I got there, the school was full of dropout prep kids. Right, when you were going to St. Pete Catholic and the other like private schools in the area, and you got kicked out because you were a dickhead, some dumb white boy, you got sent to St. Pete High. Regardless if you lived 30 minutes south, like basically next to Skyway in one of those big ass houses, or in Clearwater Beach, you were probably going to St. Pete High, because that was what was conceived as like your next best thing for public school, because you can't get your kid to a private school because it's a dickhead. So dropout prep kids, right? When I got there. Mm-hmm. Then they started zoning south, and it's a really big mix now of like black and white kids in St. Pete High. Or at least when I was like the last year and a half I spent there, because I didn't go there for my second semester of my senior year, so a year and a half. But it's old school. The main building, built before 1900, and they used to just be problems constantly. The front of the building was made partially with Spanish stained glass. And cost over $1 million just to get the glass. And that's what I'm saying. Like, this place is a money pit, and the reason the county can't get rid of it, they wanted to break it down because they went and got this done, a historic monument. Yeah, so they can't. They'll never knock that place down. They'll never knock it down unless they can get around that in some place and somehow. But now they just have to pour money into it. Oh my god, I know the county's pissed right now because they just finished remodeling it the past couple of years.
Damn. So to address that comment, oh my, now don't get me wrong, like I don't mind it as long as you give me a little bit of heads up. There might be flood, you know what I mean? Just kind of like for a school situation. You see the weather, you got a heads up that it's flooding, now you can either, evacuate or say, fuck it, let me go catch some fish.
Bro, I used to get there, and if I would walk into my first class, or sometimes I would visit this Hispanic Puerto Rican teacher. She used to teach Spanish. And sometimes I would go to her class in the morning before going to my other classes to leave like my bag or stuff. Because I would sometimes just take like my notebook and specific stuff and leave my bag in certain classes so I don't have to worry about it. Because motherfuckers be stealing shit. And so I don't know if I went to her class first or to my first period or whatever it was. And it was power out. And I was like, ha, you're funny if you think I'm fucking staying here, because no power and no AC. Sometimes it would just be the AC.
Not in Florida.
But no power, no AC. I was like, you think I'm going to sit in this classroom at 80 fucking degrees? You're fucking crazy. I hop in my truck and leave. Or something when it was raining. It's like, I'm not going to walk through all this all day. Like, this is literally flooded. The hallways are all flooded. Like, if you walk through, you're ruining your shoes. Absolutely. And I remember there was always, those weird kids that don't give a fuck. just walk. You know, you know when you would be in high school and then everybody be fucking looking for shelter, trying to get from the rain, and there's just that one weird kid walking right through the middle of the courtyard while it's just fucking pouring. Like there's a lot of those.
But those are weird flexes. Like I
it's not a flex. It's the weird kid.
Yeah, I know, but that's
weird kid.
you know that's a flex though. Like he's just doing it to like, don't bother me. You know what I mean? Type of deal.
Yeah.
Just weird flex. Like I mean, the reason I say that, like, I'm not afraid of the rain. The reason I'm not afraid of the rain because for years working in valet, bro, it would be fucking pouring and you had to run. You know what I'm saying? And we're used to the rain. Like I'm not afraid of getting.
What's how you guys?
Huh?
My dad's thinking. What's up, you guys? I only understand that because I know what he's trying to say. What most people would say, "Joaso, guys, what the fuck is he trying to say?"
So like you know, like we him and I, we're used to that shit. Like running around in the fucking rain and getting soaked, completely soaked. Where your fucking underwear, you can just wring it out soaked, right? Like, but even now, man,
it's the worst.
Huh?
No, and the worst is
that's the worst.
Yeah,
and the worst is like in the rain. All the cheap motherfuckers decide to valet and give you nothing.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's the worst.
While your clothes is sticking to you, and then they probably get mad that they fucking seats wet after.
Yes, 100%. That's what I was gonna say next, bro. They would just say that, and then
they say, why don't you bring a towel with you so you don't wet my car? I'm like, where the fuck am I gonna put the towel?
That the towel's not gonna be wet as well. Like
literally, like you know,
plastic bag.
And if it was a busy day, these motherfuckers would say some shit like that. I would turn around and be like, listen, I'm not Jesus. I don't just run through rain and around me there's a circle of dryness. You know what I mean? Like we get wet, and they're like, well, why don't you wear a poncho? I'm like, do you think poncho not gonna get wet? Like, there's no way for your car not to get wet. The
poncho is just gonna keep you from getting wet, but it's still gonna get their car wet.
As a matter of fact, you can get more water in your fucking car.
because it's actually just sitting on the outside instead of actually partially soaking into your clothes.
Yeah, people will get mad, fucking. Because,
bro, I'll get inside if
the
I
car
knew
is wet.
I hated.
I knew they were cheap. I'd get inside and go like this. That shit. Yeah, bro, you fucking deserve it. I'm sorry, bro.
Burn the motor.
Yeah.
No, like working construction, that shit used to happen a lot. Where we would, I mean, still does happen. Where we're like doing windows, and we're like on the last two windows. Next thing you know, it starts sprinkling. Like, oh fuck! And so everything is run, fucking putting caulking under the windows while it's just pouring. Like I've left job sites where it's like you literally just take me into a pool and do that and like dip me in and look exactly the same. Mm-hmm. Like because you're just sitting in the rain. Like
yesterday we had fucking hail.
Yeah, bro. I was telling them about that. It was like little like
10 minutes,
pinto bean size balls of hail dropping down. Yeah, it was dropping for a while. I was expecting to walk out to a couple smashed windows or something.
Outside my work,
bro. It looked like a small hurricane had passed through because of all the shit that had knocked down.
You know what's fucking weird? In Australia or somewhere, I saw fucking this hail, bro. The
size
80
of degrees outside hailing. What the fuck? Yes,
size of fucking golf balls.
And in Europe too. In certain
places,
like
that shit
UK,
fucking hit your car, your windows, your house. You know, those are the fucking projectiles.
You know, I was talking to my buddy. He
9.2 meters per second square. Woo, bro, that thing is gonna fucking knock something.
My buddy was saying that he noticed that it was gonna hail because I guess the clouds were really high. I don't know. He was talking to me this morning.
Well, that makes sense because over there temperature is super cold.
No, for real. That's what he said. I don't know. He's like, to his buddy, he's like, hey, that looks like hail clouds. Like, you know how you can tell like it looks like tornado clouds?
Yeah.
Like, because they're really low and shit and dark and they have these split edges or whatever.
Oh, you want to hear something fucking crazy? So in high school back in the day, right, we had geography classes because you should be able to name 3 fucking countries in the world, right? We had geography classes, and part of the geography class was every week one of the students was responsible about mapping out the type of clouds that you have. Oh, fuck. Whether they're like feather-like, whether they're like regular clouds. Huh?
Miguel looks like he's dealing with rain.
Oh, he's with Bailey?
He's with Bailey and her cousin, and that's them under our jacket.
Dude, her cousin looks just like her.
Yeah, they're twin. I actually went up one time. We were in Puerto Rico, and put my hand on her shoulder and goes, "What's up, girl?" Thinking it was Bailey, because I don't really know her cousin too well. And she turns around and goes, "Huh?" And I was like, "Oh, my bad." Because they had like similar color hair and everything at the time, like that red.
Is she from Orlando, right? She's in Orlando, right?
They're in Orlando right now. All three of them.
I mean, her cousin lives in Orlando.
Her cousin lives in Kissimmee, in Orlando.
Well, that's, you drive by Kissimmee, any car that passes by you really fast with a loud mufflers is that, the mama, there's a trap music blasting through it.
You can, look at it this way, like Kissimmee is like the Mecca
Mini
of
Puerto
like,
Rico,
Puerto
yeah.
Rico, right? Hialeah, you have
makes sense.
Hialeah, you have Cubans. You go to the Bronx, it's like Dominicans, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's like that's just mass stereotypical, but it is what it is, right? Like
No, I mean
that's
it's
just what
the
you
largest
find there.
concentration. Because
Yeah.
if you go to Chicago, largest concentration of Lithuanians. You go to Glendale, California, the largest concentration of Armenians. You know, so it's like they kind of like try to congregate in the same
I mean,
area.
it
Makes
happens like
sense.
that. Like, for example,
What the fuck happened to St. Pete?
St. Pete.
motherfucker is
St.
here.
Pete is full of old people first.
Yeah, I think St. Pete is
Originally,
old
because of-
money.
you know why?
Originally.
No, you know why actually? You know, back in the day, people were gullible, right? And this is the day of like, oh, you're sick, smoke a cigarette, right? Like this is that day, right? Back in that day, and I don't know how long you want to put it ago, right? This place was still called Pinellas Village, right? They legit thought as the Tampa Bay as the Fountain of Youth. They
Really?
actually sold that to the world, legitly. I took St.
Why?
Petersburg history, like an actual class for
Fountain
a whole
of
semester
Youth?
just on St. Pete history. Yes, bro. They convinced that the Tampa Bay. Alex was saying about this. They convinced the fucking world. That's why there's so many people from other places too. You're like, damn, why the fuck is Russians here? Why the fuck is this guy from Asia here? Like, just because they convinced the whole world. And the gullible people, of course, old gullible people looking to, to retire as well. I mean, it's the Sunshine State. And then you have this little pocket like, oh yeah, you go, go to the beaches of St. Petersburg and stuff. You're gonna
Bathed in the water. And
bathe in the water and you're going to look younger. And they sold that. They legit sold that. And so that's why when I say that there's an abundance of old people, not specifically just in Florida, there is. Florida's a retirement state, but St. Petersburg has a high count because of
But
that.
it's changing now.
But you still look at Tampa Bay. Look at the amount of money in Tampa Bay, old money in Tampa Bay. Not just Tampa and St. Petersburg. You go down to Sarasota, you go up through Clearwater, Hudson, go down more.
because Tampa Bay area is the largest metropolitan
Apollo
area
Beach,
in the United
all
States.
that stuff. So there you go.
Yeah, because Apollo Beach, all of that shit's considered Tampa. You know what I mean?
It
Like,
is. It is Tampa
vast.
Bay. Tampa Bay is stupid vast. If you would look at what they call the Tampa Bay area, like you go on when I was a kid, right, and I would get up to go to school, I would turn on Bay News 9 for weather, right, because I want to know what it was like to walk to the bus stop and what I needed to wear. And I would be like, fuck. Tampa Bay News 9, right? Bay News 9 covers that much fucking area. That's what they consider Tampa Bay. Holy shit! Like,
Yeah,
it goes
because you got
way
the Manatee, Hernando, all of
and
that.
it goes
shit is-
way past Tampa.
Yeah, yeah,
Past
it
Tampa.
does.
That way they consider Tampa Bay like towards. I'd say right before Lakeland even.
Yeah,
They consider Tampa Bay, or they were covering Lakeland in those like Tampa
yeah, it goes
Bay
to the middle of the
weather
fucking
before,
Florida,
right? Like,
basically.
so, and it's just full of old money. Full of old
Yeah.
money, old white money.
Yeah.
Full of old
That's what
white
I'm
money.
saying, man. This area is like, it's not fountain of youth, but in reality, like, it kind of is, because a bunch of people want to retire here because you don't get that many hurricanes here. Like, the surfs are not that big. Water is,
Yeah, water's calm here.
water is calm, and plus it can be clean. Like, you sometimes
Nah.
can't get that blue water depending
Shit.
where you go.
Not lately, but
Yeah.
it used to be like that. Definitely back in the day
sewer
when they were
water.
selling that Fountain of Youth story. Oh, I bet this place was fucking beautiful.
Beautiful, yeah.
Oh, I know. You used to have coral, probably.
I
all
bet
kinds
this place
of
was
shit.
beautiful when
Yeah.
when it was
100
still
years
Pinellas
ago,
Village,
bro, 100
not
years
even
ago.
considered anything Tampa.
Yeah.
Because like
Because right now, that factory that's dumping the fucking,
Yeah, mosaic.
what do you call it? The grow,
Yeah,
the fertilizer.
Mosaic.
You know,
creating
water
red
is
tide, yeah.
fucking everything up right
yeah,
now.
why you think the red algae blooms from? Motherfuckers.
Yeah.
All the
it's fucking
shit they
stupid,
dump.
man.
and then they dump like so much more with the hurricane, right?
They
Yeah.
dump
Like that-
everything.
Yeah.
They're allowed to dump certain amount,
Yeah, they only allowed to dump a
Per
certain amount a
day,
day,
but then
or they
there's
have
a
a quota
hurricane.
for a
they
week or
just
whatever, right? And they dump.
What's
And
up,
then when
Mirna?
Hello.
What's up? What's up, Mirna?
The hurricane came through and they were basically made a claim for like, oh, we can't. It's more of a risk to hold it
Yes.
than to dump it.
Yeah.
So they gave
Because
them they gave them the
fertilizer,
reason.
that thing is flammable depending which one you look at. Like, it can actually, like,
Like you
that's
see
how
in
they
the
make
movies.
bombs, you know,
Yeah, I
like
was gonna say, you
the
see in the
domestic
movies.
terrorists, you know, that's how they make the bombs. You know, just buy a bunch of fertilizer.
So quick, funny fact I had earlier, right, about the caribous, right?
yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
ours, I didn't hear
Start,
you.
start from the beginning. Start from the beginning.
Did you guys know that all of Santa Claus's reindeer or caribou, right? Because they're called reindeer apparently when they're domesticated, caribou when they're wild.
Okay.
Same animal though. When they're all of his caribou / reindeer are by default female.
No, I did not know that.
No.
Why?
Now,
Why?
to secure this claim, let me ask a question. Every time you see his reindeer, they always have horns, right?
Okay.
Always, right?
Yeah.
You would agree.
Yeah.
Male caribou and reindeer shed their horns for the winter in November.
Okay.
Both do.
Only the male.
Only the male.
The females keep them.
Oh shit! So it's saying that for the winter, if it was a male, they shouldn't have.
They
antlers.
shouldn't have antlers.
They don't have balls.
I know. I can see Alex looking it up right now.
I'm literally looking at it right now. Yeah.
But I'm only not fact checking myself because the man Neil deGrasse Tyson himself said this. So I was like, I don't need to ask anybody else.
No, exactly, exactly.
I don't need to ask anybody else. I believe him.
So what about Rudolph? Why is it
So-
a Rudolph?
There you go. Rudolph, Spritzers, all those guys like
Blinzer,
yeah,
Spritzer?
all the fucking
Blinzer.
They
yeah.
have male names.
They
right?
have male names, but they are by default
Wait,
female.
Are they pushing the Transformer agenda on there?
That's way too old to be pushing that. That's just. I mean, I think that they just put the reindeers. I mean, put the antlers on them to make them, look more majestic, pretty, whatever.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, if you're putting antlers on them, you're making them female.
But that makes no sense. Like, why would they shed?
So actually, it's a thing with all of those kind of species, with deer and all that, elk. They shed their antlers. Some do it during different parts of the year. Like, for example, Joe Rogan tried to correct him and tell him, well, some deer do it during spring and regrow 'em within a month or two. The whole thing. Yeah, bro. That's really crazy how fast some of those species regrow.
They just shake them off when they get at, they just shake their head and they pop off out of their head.
Yeah, and then
It's crazy when they shed.
Within, I think, a month or two, they're growing them back all the way.
How much?
Well,
Check,
then
can you check that out for me,
Is
Alex?
that
When
calcium,
how
right?
fast they what's the fastest species grows them back?
Are they calcium based?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I don't know. But if you think about it, like, it's winter time. There's
I
not
think
a
it's
lot
the
of
same
food.
thing as your hair.
Keratin,
But it's
kind of like your
hard.
nails and stuff.
Yes.
Oh.
I think it is the same thing as like your hair and your nails, the keratin. Yes.
That's interesting. Because to me, that's crazy. Like, what? Well, I was gonna say fighting for food, but these motherfuckers don't eat like prey and
Is it
shit. They
keratin?
just-
Isn't it? You take biotin to help, right?
with keratin, I'm guessing. No,
I think we might have it wrong.
I don't fucking know, man.
The microbiologist over here.
I'm not.
But yeah,
I'm not
I
too
heard
much.
that today, and I'm because I was listening to his pod with Joe, and I was like, "That's interesting."
I was listening
because
to
I
some
always
video.
see that
I was
they have
listening to
antlers.
Some shit your dad sent me with Tyson speaking. You were talking about, bro. It's like that guy, bro.
He's
Breaks
insane.
my brain.
I listened. James Fox. Yeah, James Fox. This guy that he covered the story. He not covered it. He went more in depth on it many years later because it's funny when he tells the story. He's like, when I first heard that, I thought it was bullshit. Anyways, this guy's. He investigates UFOs and aliens and shit like that, right? And he goes and he looks at stories and he, makes documentaries and stuff like that on them. You guys have heard the one in Brazil, right?
Oh, the girl that recorded. in the
No.
sky?
So there's
In the
a
plane?
story
Oh yeah.
of Brazil that's
1996.
long time ago, right?
There's
that,
a documentary. I think,
yes,
about
and he's
that.
the one who made it. James
Cool.
James
yeah,
Fox.
Yeah, I know you're talking
James
about.
Fox.
Yeah.
Okay.
In 96.
96.
yeah.
There you go. So in Brazil, there's this crash landing supposedly.
Mhm.
Bro, apparently they pull there's multiple stories. So there's one story that there's two sisters and a friend that actually see one of the beings, and one of them locks eyes with it and freezes, and they have to go back to get her because she won't move. Blah blah. There's another story of what they found that apparently in the same crash landing. This all happened in the same area, same within a week, not within a week, the same time. And apparently another story is that they pull one of the beings out of one of the ships and it's hurt. They try to take it to the hospital. The guy that carried it ends up dying from some weird skin infection. That they couldn't figure out what it was. Apparently they were really small. Right. There's another story of the guy that helped take the one to the hospital, the guy that drove the truck to take him there, and then. So this guy, James Fox, he's a guy that investigates UFOs, right? But when he hears this story, he goes, there's no fucking... Oh, apparently there's U.S. intervene... the U.S. comes in and takes over everything and fucking tells everybody, yo, shut the fuck up. And anyways, he hears his story back in the day. I think he said it was 2007, 2008. He hears the story. He goes, that's bullshit. There's no way that all could have happened and there wasn't some fucking big story on it, right? That's absolute bullshit. And so he goes himself and starts talking to the people. There's even apparently on the documentary, they take one of the guys that saw the being back to the site, and he breaks out in tears.
Yeah, I wanted to watch it, but I haven't watched the documentary. Is it on Netflix?
I don't know where it is, but
they already came out and they kind of like
I forget what
YouTube.
YouTube?
I think it's on YouTube.
Even
What's
better.
it called?
I'll look it up. We can. James
Alex
Fox
can
is the
look
guy's
it
name.
up.
alluded to that shit though. Like, you know, they call them not UFOs anymore. They call them
P something? Wasn't it with a P?
I'm sorry?
Flying object is UFO.
UFO, but they're no longer going by that term because
going
unidentified object could be any
Could be
object
anything,
that you just
yeah.
don't know what it is.
Unidentified flying phenomenon.
There you go. It's UPF. Or phenomenon is with a P, isn't it?
UPP,
No, I don't know.
UFP,
is
UFP.
UFP. That's what the guy was
My
saying.
dyslexia kicked in.
Oh, and then
All of ours did right there, all together. We're like trembling. Only 3 words can figure it the fuck out. Oh shit! But yeah, like I saw that he was talking with him too.
What about?
And it's really interesting what they.
What about?
I want to watch that.
What's the guy's name that he worked in the Area 51? Bob Lazar. That motherfucker is crazy.
So they talk about that, right? And James was like, "Man, we try not to like get to that extreme, right? Like I try to stick to as much fact as possible." And it's funny too because he talks about how he comes back from the whole Brazil story and he tries telling it to people and people still doubt him. And he goes, "Man, I don't blame you. I really don't blame you for doubting me, but I'm sorry. I know what I know. I saw what I saw. This and that, right?" But then Bob Lazar, they talk with him too, and it's weird because they say that people recognize him from the facility. He knows his way around the facility. There's like evidence that he knows how to work the stuff in the facility. He can say
Who is this?
Bob Lazar, some guy that supposedly worked in Area 51,
and he worked on
on
an aircraft.
On an aircraft.
Or reverse engineered it.
And he tried to revert exactly. They gave him this thing, and they're like, "We need to figure out how it works." Mm-hmm. Right? We don't know. But the way they did it was so restricted that because, like, for example, in engineering situation, if he has something that's going down, it's a part of. He's a very small project of a big group, right? Of a big accomplishment. They give him a very small part of a big group, but they don't let the groups interact with each other.
Yeah, this way you don't know what the fuck you're working on.
That way you don't exactly. You're very
government loves doing that.
Yeah, but then you get shit results.
Yeah, but then
you can't collaborate with the guy next to you, so you kind of don't know the whole story.
Yeah, but then you have Bob Lazar. If you knew everything, it'd come out. Yeah, this is it. You know, this is the reason why they don't do that.
He worked on a small.
He worked on, if I'm not mistaken,
like,
he worked on the anti-gravity machine, propulsion, whatever.
Yes, propulsion,
anti-gravity
and
propulsion stuff.
Like basically the way it moves around. And
this way you can travel past speed of light or whatever the hell.
So they were actually talking about how they found evidence of technology. I found this so mind-blowing that they are actually basically like, you know how they were talking about like the other day, they figured they're trying to like, suspect black holes are really like kind of like a
portals.
Like in dumb sense a portal, right? They were actually saying that studies suggest that there was evidence to be found that within like that studying done that you know that's how these beings are getting around. Not even through the speed of light, because even with the speed of light, it takes so many fucking years to get across. You know what I mean? Like, so how much faster would you go than the speed of light to get here quick enough to where it's in with like a lifespan?
But they were saying
a basic being, because like even things here only live so long. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's no.
That makes sense.
But with a black hole, also you're so compounded that if you could survive travel.
Yeah.
Like, that's even crazier,
what
right?
would you come out?
That's another problem, right?
Where
that's
are you
another
problem.
Come out? And where are you gonna come out? How do you have to calculate that? And that's true though, because black holes fuck with matter in a sense, right? Because they don't understand that completely. So we don't get how it works. In a sense, you could come out and your legs on your head. You don't fucking know. We don't.
Well, if you think about it, if these motherfuckers figured out how to go through a black hole, I'm sure they figured out a way to calculate that. You know what I mean? Like, this is a whole nother level on them. You know, if that's possible.
What's the closest black hole from Earth?
I don't know.
Your butthole?
I'll look it up.
There you go.
Yeah, what's the closest? I mean, I think it's.
You know what I found really cool? He explained to us, explained on that podcast too, was he was talking about how, you know, we use Newton's like theory for gravity, right? Mm-hmm. And then we figure out that it's right up into a certain
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, it doesn't work
Right.
anymore in space. It's
And
got
there
to
you
be a
go.
different
And then
formula.
we have to not abandon
yeah,
that
yeah, because
ideology.
it builds on it.
It builds on it, but you have to use that plus Einstein's theory of relativity
Mhm.
to then get the correct equation. And then he's saying even Einstein's theory of relativity has its own limits
Yep.
to where it could be true. You can go without that. You can go out those side of those boundaries. And then that kind of clicked in my head. It's like, damn. So, we had that conversation with your aunt a couple months back, right? It's like, oh, so we only know science until now, and then later they figure other things out. And it's like, well, but even though they figure other things out, doesn't necessarily mean the things before were wrong.
Yes.
They still have their sense in their application.
Yeah.
They're still 100%.
Because it's built on it. Like
There you go.
The relativity theory and the Newton's
But I just,
gravitational
for me,
theory builds the fucking gravitational force pull in the fucking
that we
stuff.
know
It's
for
still-
now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
but
so-
like, let's say you're a genius. They put you in some fucking room. You think you're gonna figure out half of what Einstein figured out?
No.
I don't
No, I don't-
understand
I don't
how
know.
this motherfucker figured
know.
out all that shit. out.
I mean, they're
The
just-
closest black hole to Earth is 1,500 light years away.
Yeah. So if you're
these
traveling
motherfuckers
the
take the
speed
fast
of
lane
light
until
for
1500 years.
Yeah, they take the fast lane to 1,500 light years close. You know what I mean? Like kind of like when you're going on a highways where you have to pay. You got the fast lane.
So let's
That
say
you,
you
that
might
you, tells
you
you
want to
two or
make
more
it in
people.
30 years. You still got to go 5 times the speed of light.
Yeah,
So if you go speed of light, you gotta take you 1,500 years to get there.
There you go.
Fuck.
300 years is 5 times the speed of light.
There you go.
So, I don't know, man. But
It's a long trip.
it is.
It's
But
far as fuck. And I want to know how the fuck we know it's that far.
and that's
Right?
what
That's crazy how far light travels for us to
Yeah,
actually
they
then
measure with
examine it.
photons and shit.
Yep.
Bro.
And then you know what's crazy? That they explain how photons don't have an internal clock.
they don't.
Oh yeah, they don't.
So for
It
the
happens
photon,
and dies.
and it happens and dies, right? Within the same instant of
Yeah.
itself. And you think, and it's so hard to break down because you're like, damn, that's the same photon that took 1,500 light years to travel here for me to see it. But for itself,
It's same thing with you see the star in the sky. That's star made of emitted
happened
light
yeah,
from
long time ago.
a million
time
years
ago.
ago.
Yeah, but that photon that you see that hits your eye, it
Really
just
lived for an
dies.
instant.
Yeah.
It lived,
For it,
died,
it's just an
lived, did its
instant, yeah.
purpose, and died within an instant.
Same thing I was saying about what's his name, deGrasse Tyson. He was explaining like, let's say you're driving on the highway, right? And he goes,
Oh,
let's
the
say-
tire shit. You
What
sent it to
the
me.
fuck?
Oh my god, I couldn't understand it
My
at first,
brain
and then
hurt.
it clicked.
He
Right?
said that
When
if
you
you're
saw the
traveling
tire?
at the speed of, at 60 miles an hour on the highway, there's a part on your car that is stationary, and there's a part on your car
That's moving
that
double the speed.
of light. And he's like, "What the fuck are you talking
You
about?"
know what,
The
the
other guy-
center cap of the
No,
No,
that's-
that's what I thought at
that
first.
that is a same speed because it's traveling same speed.
Yeah.
The bottom of your tire that has contact with the ground is stationary.
Because while it's moving from here to the back part, it's stationary. It never moved.
Huh?
And then yeah, I got it. Wait, let's
and
look
then
up.
the top of the
let's look up
tire
the
is
video.
actually moving.
Yeah, double the
Bro.
speed because the car's going forward, but at the same
Oh
time the
my
tire's being
God.
projected forward on the top
My
to the
brain.
next. Like think of it as a clock,
Yeah.
right? So this part of the tire is moving double the speed because as the car's going forward too, it's going forward within the car because it goes from
Yeah,
here to
yeah,
here,
yeah,
from
yeah,
point
yeah.
to B. But then the part that's on the bottom going back doesn't move at all because as the car's going forward, it's going back.
But then he talked about the train that has the train tracks, right? And you have the train wheel that kind of go over the lip of the track.
Yeah.
So that lip is actually going backwards.
Yes.
Bro, like what the fuck? Like
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about, but if you watch a train, like especially the old mechanical trains,
Yeah,
it
that's
does
how they're
look like it's going backwards.
Yes, it's like
as it goes down the track. Yeah.
Because you can see it has a horizontal bar connecting all the wheels from
Yeah.
that you can visually see, so that
Yeah.
gives you a really good visual of how that's all working.
Yeah.
Neil hurts my head sometimes,
Yeah.
but
I think he
really
hurts his own head.
I want to. Yeah, he probably does. I would like in like 15 years to have
And
a
then-
conversation with him.
And then he was I would
Conversation, you're just gonna sit there like just say hello, and then he's gonna explain to you how hello
No,
came
because
about.
you know what's funny? I'm not gonna.
And
say
then
I'm,
you drool.
I'm
And
not
then-
Joe. I mean, Joe Rogan's like
Yeah, that would be
55, 60,
epic
right? He
shit
said.
right there.
And I'm not that smart, but you can see that even somebody like Joe Rogan, it's not a somebody that has a PhD in astrophysics can have a conversation with him and actually back him and be like, hey, but this is like this and this. And then Neil, so he goes and he's like, well, the real explanation all the way down to the T explains this, which is really cool. I like watching them talk because Joe actually kind of like, hey, but what about this?
Yeah. And then he talked about, I watched another video about why
Do you
the
think
sky
it's
is
Joe
blue.
or Jamie? Jamie pulls up those questions and pops it over to him.
I mean, both.
Yeah.
Both.
You know why the sky is blue? He was explaining why the sky. He's talking about, so at the basically at the sun when it's at peak, right? Let's say you see white light, right? Because white light has rainbow, right? Color rainbow. So then he's explaining you have like 75% gas and 20% this, that, and then you have a bunch of particles, dust, this, that. So basically, when the light hits it, that particles will emit blue light. So it goes into makes the sky. So then he's like, what happens when now the sun is not at peak and it's more, let's say it's
Red
sunset, right? So what happens is now the sun is going down and it's got to go a longer distance in the atmosphere. So a lot of that light will get refracted through the particles, and all the blue light is gone. Therefore, you see the sunset, which is orange and red.
Because all we're seeing is fucking wavelengths of light.
Yes.
And the faster and slower they're going is how they hit the little cones in the
Yeah.
back of our fucking eyes. It's crazy when you think about it.
Yeah.
When you're a kid and you figure out that the reason you can see what's in front of you is because the light is reflecting off it, you're like,
Or
I don't understand what the
colors.
fuck that means.
colors,
Right?
colors too. If you turn off the light, they're sure not gonna look blue.
No, it just all
Well,
this
that's
whole room
there's
looks black.
the theory of that is that when you turn the light off, it's because of the evolution. Our eyes developed that way because back in the day they didn't have incandescent lights. The reason you see it now is because you turn the
But
incandescent
regardless,
light
there
on.
is no light refracting to give you a color. That's the thing.
Yes.
Like
What
So
do you
like
mean?
my
What do you-
shoes,
say it
like
again.
my
so, for example, it's not that in the dark you can't see the color because
There's no light.
there's no light to refract off of his shirt
Yes.
to show you that it's blue.
Yes.
Yeah, because our eyes, well, even so, let's say, so our eyes are used to the sun, because if it's a sunny day and it's clear and it's flat like Kansas, right? Like you can see from here in a far away, there's a red car coming at you. But in the same Kansas, even if the road is lit up with incandescent lights like these, you will not be able to tell that car is red because our eyes are not used
Not
to
necessarily.
No, I'm telling you, our eyes are not used to the artificial lights. That we're not used
It
to.
depends on
lights.
what kind of light you're using. Because if the light is yellow light, like you see a lot of time on the road, they're using these big ass yellow lights. It imitates the sun, so you can see color.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. They say that you cannot, even if it hits you with the
know
incandescent
about
light.
that.
They're saying that you cannot,
Like my
because our eye is not used to artificial light. Our eye is used to natural.
Then how do I
light.
see all the colors in this room, bro?
In this room, because the room is very well lit. But if you were standing, let's say 100 yards or 300
but
yards
you-
away,
at
you
that
would
point-
not be able to say the colors.
But that's have to
But
do
even
with
even
the-
at
A good
300 yards
example is-
away,
a good
even in
example is-
sunlight, you wouldn't see it.
A good example is those
Yeah,
the
vision
pictures behind
see
you,
that,
right? Like
right.
in a frame,
Mm-hmm.
like some of those darker pictures. Because right now when I'm looking at it, I can't make out whose face it is. But if it was a daylight, you would know exactly whose face it is.
I don't know about that.
I'm telling you.
It's
I don't
just
know about
your
that.
vision can't see that far.
Because I don't think that necessarily because of the situation you're in. We've been in light for so long.
But this is not my opinion.
I
I'm
know.
telling you,
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But I'm saying like I just don't see that in practice. I don't see it ever
because
happening.
light is not a new thing. We've developed 300,000 years without a light. Like until what Newton fucking hit the lightning hit the little kite with a key in
Edison.
a jar. You know what I mean? Like, and even then they're like, all right, well, this theory exists, but like,
But
how
what
we
about
create it.
what about then candlelight?
That's what I'm saying. People use candlelight.
But then you have lights like normal lights that are just will get yellow and imitate candlelight.
Yeah.
Shit,
our eyes
candlelight. Do you ever try to like see shit with candlelight?
terrible,
It makes shit
bro.
darker.
Yes.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Right, 'cause it
That's what I'm
creates
saying. Like, I just think it
shadows and shit
depends.
like that.
I think it depends on
Right.
the lumens and the spectrum of the light. That's all it is.
Yeah, like my shoes, right? They're
Well,
green.
yeah, obviously, like the closer to the sun you're gonna get, the closer you're gonna illuminate shit. The way the sun illuminates it's gonna be. But
I
what
don't
I'm
know.
trying to say,
The
our
sun
eyes
is very yellow, right? Like gives
But
off
it's
a pretty.
white.
it's white.
It's white
It
light.
gives white light,
White light.
right? But if you grab a RGB spectrum light, I'm sure you can get clearer light in a Photoshop setting out of that than the sun any day.
Probably.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes, but then you're imitating sun, right? Like the
Not
even the-
necessarily. You're making it more extreme.
well, yeah, but what you're doing is you're getting closer or surpassing whatever the sun
Because
would
don't
show.
think of it as imitating sun. You have to put the sun just on a part of the spectrum.
No, I get that, but what I'm trying to say, our eyes are not used to seeing things at all types of lights. The only time we see clear is when it's an actual sunlight or whatever imitates the actual sunlight.
I can't.
Or
I feel like
above.
you can't say only time we see clear. It's not the only time we
The
see
colors, yes. The
I don't
colors
think
we
so.
can make out unless it's like a full sun, because our
'Cause you're-
eyes
you're-
are not
you're-
used to.
You're trying to tell me that my eyes are picking it up, but because of evolution, it's showing me different.
No. What I'm saying is, let's say you're driving on a road, right? And you have lights everywhere. You can't tell that that car is gray, black, or white until it gets closer to you.
Debatable.
I'm just telling
That's
you, bro.
debatable. You could see it on the highway. We drive on the highway all day, all night.
Yeah, but you cannot tell. You know it's a car. You know the car is oncoming to you. You see the headlights, right? But you
Well,
don't know
that's
what
different.
color is the
you know
car.
Why? You know why? Wait. That's different. If the car's coming at you in the dark, it's blasting
Yeah.
you with light.
That-
You're not gonna see any color anywhere.
No,
Even
I-
if the sunlight's coming down,
That's
if
fine.
it's blasting you in the
What I'm
face, you're not
saying
gonna
is,
see anything.
I just used that example. Okay, so you're standing right here. There's a car over there. Even though it's on a street lit up, it's 300 yards away. You know it's a car because you can make out the shape, but you don't know what color it is. As it gets closer to you, you're able to tell what color it is.
That depends how bright it's outside. And
That's my
how
point.
far
That
your
our eyes
vision
are not
is.
used to. Our eyes are not used to incandescent
Yeah,
lights.
we're not
but
owls.
if he wasn't,
I don't know.
Yeah, we're just not owls. Like that's as simple as that.
That's
we're
the
not, We're
point.
we're not meant to see in the dark.
well,
yeah.
that's what I'm trying to say. Like the
We're not
incandescent-
nocturnal animals. Like
Yes.
our eyes are meant for light. Like,
yes.
For example, that's because they can actually their eyes go into different parts of the spectrum of light.
Yes.
Like no animal sees the same as another animal.
No, I get that, but what
Picks light up.
I'm
No, going beyond what you're saying. And then you have like but what if you put an owl or one of these animals that are really good at the night and put them in a fucking black box? They still can't see shit, can
No,
they?
it has to still reflect some sort of
There
a
has
light.
to be some kind of light,
Yeah,
right, to reflect and give some kind of vision.
Yeah.
You know,
that's why they use the moon, because like
yeah.
the sun and the moon. If you think about the sun and the moon, sun is like the moon is more like passive, where sun is more active. You know what I mean? Like the light spectrum of it. I mean, you can get a moon tan if you're to lay down in front and next in your pool, by your pool under the direct moonlight. You would get a tan.
Yeah.
Because it still like hits you with those lights that will engage your
Really, you think
melatonin.
you just get a tan?
Yeah, you
still?
can. You can get a tan. It'll
I thought you
engage
get a
your
tan from
melatonin.
UV.
Really, I didn't know.
You can
'cause-
get a tan from snow.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
Yeah,
direct
it's just
refraction.
refraction, yeah.
yeah. That's why like a lot of people will wear
That's
glasses
why you
and their
get
faces
like
are
in
red
Mount
or
Everest,
brown.
people get
at nighttime.
blind because when they climb, they have to wear special glasses because the snow reflects so bad that they can't.
Oh,
get
like the
blind.
glasses I have,
I don't
like
know.
to that have that
Almost like
block off.
welding glasses.
Yeah, like the ones I have that block off the side that have the
Yeah.
side shades.
Motherfucker,
They're
you
called-
don't climb Everest. Why you have those glasses?
They're called mountaineer glasses.
Yeah,
It's a
makes
style with the side
Yeah.
shades.
more
I like the way they look.
More
I
like
had the money.
more
Come on.
like grandpa glasses with the side shades. When you have
You just asked me like,
cataracts,
why you wear Nike with Adidas? 'Cause I got
when
the
you
money.
have cataracts, you have to wear.
Because I can. We're in United States, damn it.
Yeah, no. So it's for the sun. That's what they said, and wind.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, makes sense.
Can we talk about something real quickly?
Talk to
So-
me, Jay.
Let's talk about cars, but not necessarily cars. What's better? What's worse? But buying cars.
Okay. So we gotta talk about what's better, what's worse.
I didn't fucking realize how much of a pain in the ass it is. If you wanted to buy a fucking Corvette Z06 right now, you pretty much cannot. You literally cannot buy a Corvette
Yeah, unless
Z06
you have a
the way you want it.
boatload money.
The way you want it. Even if you had a boatload of money, you would get in a line, and it's 2 to 6 years wait time
Jesus Christ. All right.
for them
Wait.
to build the car for you the way
Yeah.
you want it.
Yeah.
Oh, why?
Bro,
Just
they've been
that
fucked.
backtrack.
Apparently, they were supposed to produce 7,000 of them this year. They've only produced 1,200, and we're end of May.
Why?
I don't fucking know. I don't know.
I mean, the Z06 is clean as fuck.
Yeah, but
I can see why people be trying to get into that.
I mean, if you want like,
$120,000.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
starting.
that's
Face.
starting, bro.
Starting.
Starting. I mean, you're
That's
not,
with
you're not
roll-up
paying
fucking
less
windows,
than
like-
160 for a
250
Z06.
probably
160.
to get one from
You're
a
not paying
dealership.
less than 180, I'd say.
Dude, if a Civic
160.
Type R costs
MSRP.
50 grand. get the
MSRP
fuck out.
to have it decent.
Oh, MSRP to have a decent. So that's what I'm saying. You're not paying less than 180.
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. I mean, fully loaded.
I'm excited to see the new Lexus GX.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about it, like, cause it's gonna come out next year, right? Technically,
June 8th, they're gonna
then
show
announce it and
looks
it'll
on.
come out
GX,
next year.
Big car,
Yeah,
Yeah, like
the SUV.
crossover.
no.
No, it's an actual
Actual SUV,
truck
yeah.
frame SUV.
Oh, okay.
It's on
Yeah.
Sequoia shit, right?
Oh,
Pretty much like Sequoia.
Got you.
No, it's not like Sequoia.
Oh,
It's
no,
like a
Prado,
Forerunner.
Prado.
Prado,
Oh, like
Toyota
the Forerunner
Prado,
big. Okay.
like a Forerunner.
Prado.
Yeah, like a Forerunner, but
Because
the Lexus
Prado
version.
is your GX.
Mhm.
Your Forerunner is what?
Hilux. No, Hilux is the truck, right?
No, what the Lexus one? I don't know.
No, Forerunner and GX share the same platform.
Well, I don't know that, but I know that Lexus GX is your Toyota Prado, which is in
In
other
Europe.
in Europe or
Yes.
South America, blah blah blah.
But back to the Corvette. I mean, of course, it's a fucking famous car. What other domestic American car that you like? I want a car for the track, and I want it to be American, and you want it to be brand new. What other thing would you buy?
So pretty much right
There's
now,
nothing else you'd buy.
what else would you buy as a
There you
sports
go.
car?
What is that? GT 540? No,
Oh, the GT from Ford, the Ford
Ford
GT.
GT.
Yeah, but what's that?
couple
Three,
hundred
four
thousand.
hundred.
Three
100,000?
times the price.
Yeah.
That's the thing, but like
And that's not really a sports car anymore. That's considered a hypercar,
Mm-hmm.
but like Z06, right?
right? Because it's a hybrid, isn't it?
120, right? 120 grand. But you're not getting one for 120.
That's
No.
what I
You're
said.
looking
Minimum
at
180
250,
probably.
200,
paying.
250.
Yeah,
Because
and then
you
if you
weigh-
get a nice one, yeah.
Fucking buy a Ferrari. at
No,
that
you're not
point.
getting it. 200 is too much. I say you get one
I
between
I think you could probably pay
130 to about
220.
180 MSRP, but that doesn't mean you're gonna pay that
That's
because
what
you're
I'm
gonna
saying.
get to
You're
the
gonna pay
dealership.
180 to
You're gonna
220.
pay more than MSRP.
There you
can
go.
buy
'Cause
a
they're gonna
Lambo
tag
at
on
that
top of it.
point.
Bro, you know the shit I'd buy. God damn, like you could just go. See, this is the thing, right? Because if you want something crazy for the track, I mean, that doesn't have to be brand new. I'd rather buy something a little older and save a
Yeah.
buck.
You know
No.
that cop in your neighborhood, when the Corvette just came out,
Yeah.
the first one, he put a deposit. He got his right away.
Yes, he
It's
did.
not a Z06, but
It's a regular Stingray. yeah.
orange Stingray. But I guess when these cars come out like that, you have to just jump on it and be the first in line
Mhm.
to fucking get one.
Yeah, I don't know, man. As far as the Z06 goes, like if you wanted to buy one, good fucking luck getting one the way you want it, like to begin with. And to me, when you paying $160,000, 170,
You
180,000,
want it how you want
I
it.
want it how you want it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, sorry, at that point, like I'm already
You're not
dumping
buying
this
one off the lot.
Yeah, bro.
Fuck
Like
that.
whatever you got, you know.
Yep, all the bells and whistles.
Everything. I want everything.
But Z06 is damn near 700 horsepower, bro. Mid-engine, 700 horsepower. How ridiculous does that sound?
That's what I'm saying. That's another part of like what's better, because it's not only that it's a badass car, looks sexy, has a lot of power. It's now mid-engine and is a badass car on a track.
Well, I mean, you don't have any automakers, American automakers, that make fast cars. You just don't. It's
I mean, they're
the Chevy and Ford.
fast.
That's it.
They're fast. Are they a good car? That's another question, because we all know
Like what?
American muscle cars are very poorly built when you want to compare them to a sports car.
Well, they produced the Demon and fucking.
But I'm saying like that's
Viper.
all those cars are drag cars, if that.
And they're heavy.
That's what I'm saying. If that, because they're fucking heavy.
Yeah, they're not
Viper.
sports cars. You know what I mean? And now they stopped, so they're not gonna do the red light anymore. They're not the red the fucking Hellcat, the Demon.
Red
They're not
Eye.
gonna produce them anymore.
Red Eye and whatever. Now they have another one.
Yeah, they
Last
came out
one.
with it last year, right? The
1,000
SRT 10.
horsepower.
Aren't they switching it over to an electric version?
They're switching over to like. Oh, so I saw this interesting thing. It was Senate was questioning this dude, and they were like,
Oh,
"Well,
about the
Biden
electrical
administration
car.
wants to switch 50% of the cars by year 2040 to electric. And they're like, is that true? They're like, yep, that's true. And then the guy goes, well, now more 60% than 50%, right? And they're like, well, isn't it also true that it takes 4 times more resources to produce the cars, electric cars?
Lithium.
They're like, yep, that's true too. You know, to produce the cars takes 4 times the resources. And they're like, is that also true that there's gonna, if all the cars in the world converted to electric, that's only gonna change 0.002 Fahrenheit, the global temperature? They're like, yep, that's also true. And they're like, so what the fuck are we fighting for? Like, so what's the issue? Like, what does the electric cars have to do anything with global warming, right? So I don't know. I've never fact checked. I don't know. So what y'all guys think about that?
I mean, for example, you look at the carbon footprint that cars already provide today, and it's not the average person that I would assume. I'm assuming here, right? This is what I think, right? Like you said, I don't know. I'm probably gonna be ballpark wrong here, right? Like gone, but I would assume the majority of that footprint, if you want to take it down to locomotive, is probably, or like transportation, sorry, is big
Trains,
trucks,
planes, big trucks.
like, there you go, and those are the other two.
Factories.
Factories, trains, big trucks like semi trucks or dump trucks like
planes.
Kevin's, and planes. Because planes, holy shit.
Yeah. They dump.
I mean, have you ever looked behind like a plane when the thing's on? You know how when you're at like when you're grilling food outside, right?
Yeah.
And you see that the fumes and it
Yeah,
distorts
yeah.
the way the light passes through it, so you
Yeah.
can actually see it.
Yeah.
Bro, if you look behind a plane,
That's
it's like
exactly
that for
what it
10
is.
feet.
Yeah.
Constantly. And
The
imagine.
faster the plane, the more it dumps.
And there you go. And then imagine, that's when it's stationary, at idle. Imagine the fumes it's blowing out when it's trying to take off and in the air.
So the question is, why in the fuck are they pushing this agenda then? Why don't you concentrate on the shit that matters?
I don't know. This is our assumptions, though. This is our assumption. Who knows? What is the?
I look at it this way. If, for me, like, okay, let's
Hey
say
Luma,
we produce.
I see you in the chat.
Let's say, hi Luma. Let's say they produce electric cars. Everybody drives electric cars. Now the demand for electricity is gonna go up. So
Yep.
you tell me electrical companies not gonna raise their rates?
Yep, they are.
So we're gonna go back to the same shit. Everybody gonna pay $5-6 of whatever, how many kilowatts. So a 300-mile range car is gonna cost you $60 to fill up.
Yep.
Electrify, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be the same thing. So
Okay, so I was wrong. Passenger cars actually do make up 41% of the carbon footprint made up by transportation emissions. Commercial aircrafts make up 7.
So what's most
Light duty trucks, so this actually still includes like a pickup truck, is 17%. So actually, you would have to say that the average consumer
what's the most
contributes to higher than 41%, because if you'd have
yeah,
to
but then
include pickup
they were
trucks,
saying
'cause
that's
a lot
only
of people-
that's only gonna reduce the actual global warming by 0.000
But is that
three
true?
I
zeros
get that.
two.
I don't
but
believe
Yeah, who said that though?
I don't know.
I get
The
that,
Senate
right, I
they
get
got
that,
questioned and they
right?
said yes, that's
yeah,
true.
but those are very like skewed questions
I
in a
don't
sense,
believe
right?
that.
Because you're avoiding the big numbers of 41% of those cars are causing the carbon footprint.
So
you would take away a lot of the carbon footprint.
So what
Now, how much
produces
carbon footprint would you produce with the lithium batteries and mining all that shit? That's another question. But let's just look at the cars.
What's the biggest impact on global warming? We should look it up. Like what one thing that has the biggest impact?
I don't know, but anyway, so I don't know. I mean,
I don't know why they're getting lobbied and pushing their shit.
There you go.
well, I mean, they're
That's right
trading.
there.
They're
You
trading.
don't have to
They're
go much
trading
further than
carbon. Like right now, you can trade carbon emissions on a fucking stock
There you
market.
go. Fossil fuels are by far the largest contributor.
Yeah, but that's a broad ass fucking shit.
Because
Right?
fossil
Well,
fuels.
yeah, but
everything
that's
is
like
about
the
fossil fuels.
mining coal. That's
There you
them
go.
pumping out
It says-
oil.
Yeah.
It says coal, oil, and gas are by far the largest
Mm-hmm.
contributors, accounting for 75% of the global greenhouse gas emissions.
Yeah, but
and
what-
nearly 90% of all the carbon dioxide emissions. Holy
So,
shit.
but what industry uses the most amount of carbon? Like, what
Cars?
industry emits most? Because there's got to be like, is it the manufacturing? Is it actually
feel
car
like-
industry?
I
or
get what
is
you're
it just
saying. I get what
I
you're
feel
saying.
like
Pretty
it's
much like
What-
across the board.
I think it's the gaining of material. So getting the coal, getting all the mining. I would assume.
Could be. I don't know, man. I was looking at that. Like, I mean, I don't get me wrong. I like the Tesla. I like the Tesla better than my own car. I actually like it a lot. But I was looking at that GX and I was thinking, if it's coming out next
Hybrid.
year,
Twin turbo hybrid.
yeah, if it's
Really?
it's gonna come out
560
next
horse.
year. I wouldn't want to get it, but the year after that, when they fucking get rid of all the issues that it can have, like first year, how you
Well,
have
I
all
think
your
of it this
issues.
way. So, like, the engine is already used in the Tundra and Sequoia, so they should
Wow.
be.
So I found this thing from.
iron out.
I mean, it's
So I was thinking maybe then I can trade my car,
And it looks
get
more.
that.
They say it looks like more boxy type of.
which what I like.
So
I got-
That'd be
I got-
nice,
I
man.
got 5
like getting a
minutes,
car
and
that's
then
not a
I'm
guzzler and you just continue using the same
one of the
one.
other biggest things is trash.
trash,
That
burning
makes sense.
trash.
Yep.
Trash,
CO2
burning
right?
trash.
and like
or
all
just
that.
decomposing and shit.
Landfill. Yeah, because just leaving it there is not good either.
Because we made plastic, and plastic doesn't die.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Because see, here's the thing. They can recycle pretty much everything except for one thing. Guess what it is?
The foam.
No,
Petroleum.
plastic bags, bro. Plastic bags. There's nothing they can make out of it. Plastic bags they cannot convert. Like all the other plastic, they can convert into these plastic pebbles, and they use those pebbles for like different shit.
Yeah.
But the final product is plastic bags. So all the plastic bags you have, those are just like recycled other plastics. But the plastic bags are like
You
that's
can't
it.
recycle those.
You cannot recycle that shit.
I thought foam was one of those things as well. Certain types of foam.
Well, they're talking about the plastic bags like being the
got you.
largest computer. Because I mean, foam could be yes. Because foam doesn't fucking deteriorate. I think that's the thing with foam.
There you go.
It just doesn't fucking.
It just stays there.
It stays there. Plastic eventually will
But
deteriorate.
it takes like over a couple hundred
Yeah,
years.
yeah. It's kind of like gum. Gum on sidewalk takes like fucking 10 years to deteriorate, right? Like
Yeah.
chewing gum. But what I'm saying is like the actual plastic, we don't have as much foam issue as we have plastic bag issue, and I think how that could be changed, but we in the United States
Plastic bottles can take up to 500 years to start breaking down,
Breaking down.
if they're in the ocean.
if they're
On land, it could take even longer.
yeah.
Shit.
So to
Yeah,
me,
because salt fucks everything up.
you know
so
what can be
that helps that process.
You know how you can solve that fucking problem? Just do what rest of the world is doing. Oh, you want a bag? We're going to charge you
So-
25 cents for it.
this place
Or give you paper,
sustainability
glass bottles.
Paper fucks up the trees, you know what I mean?
Sustainabilitymagazine.com. It's
True.
talking about the top 10 things that contribute to global warming.
What is it?
Agriculture,
Yeah.
Cows and
manufacturing
shit,
of
probably.
goods, transportation vehicles, generating power,
How much CO2 those
consuming
fuckers
too
emit.
much. Like
Yeah.
we just buy too much shit. Like
Yes.
the amount of stuff we use and
No,
it's just too much. Waste, deforestation, producing food, and then the surprising one for me at the top was overfishing.
What?
Hmm.
How?
The boats have to fucking use something, right?
No, it's just because of the
Oh, the plankton.
the decline in yes, exactly, less
Plankton?
marine
Yeah,
life.
all
Yeah.
the shit that's eating everything.
Yeah, because
we're,
I
we're,
heard
we're
somewhere.
consuming too much.
I heard somewhere that plankton actually fucking chumps down to more CO2 than trees on a fucking planet.
Yes.
They make
Yep.
these I forget what city it is, but it's literally like an algae park inside this tiny
Yeah.
box instead of like to help like recycle oxygen and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's just a bunch of fucking algae
so
and
like
water.
The algae
That's
in my fish tank that I
Yeah.
have in the bottom. Overnight, I have a big fish tank. I don't know if Alex knows. Oh yeah, he
We're gonna
knows.
have to make a video on it
So-
one day.
Algae on the bottom I have that comes on at night because my pH will drop heavily because of CO2. The algae on the bottom, light turns on, it will grow, absorb nutrients and CO2. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And I noticed the difference. Lately, I've been leaving it, let it get packed really, and then take out and leave a little ball. So I was like, let me test something. So I just took out a bunch and just left maybe half a fistful, bro. And my pH at night did not drop a lot. So it kept growing, absorbing a lot of CO2 from the house. I was like, oh shit. You know what I mean?
There you go. You got
Oh,
your
so
Shit
like,
absorbs
keeping it
light
packed?
too.
yes.
So when it's packed, it's not
Photosynthesis.
growing as fast. There's no room to grow because it's in the square
Ah,
tub, right?
So you're actually like taking it. So you
So
can
I
always
took
keep
a bunch
it low.
out, and there was like, the compartment is like 2 foot by 1 foot, let's say, and it was packed, so it has nowhere to grow. You know what I mean? So when I took out and left a little bit, I was like, shit, at night, like I gained like 0.1 of pH.
Yeah.
Not dipping because it's growing and absorbing.
So why don't you just take it out
That's
on
what
a
I'm
daily
doing
basis
now.
or every 2
No, I
days?
just do it every half a week. I take out. So.
Is
Because
it
if
grow
has
that
no room to
fast?
grow, it
Oh
stops
yeah,
absorbing
fucking
as
one.
much.
I noticed that shit grow in 5 days. Like the thing is almost full. While
I saw him taking it out the other day.
While when I was going on vacation, I took
like
out
moss,
a bunch.
right? The moss
And
that you're taking out.
yeah, it's a chaeto. It's an algae type of algae.
He's got 2 businesses going, you know, like one of the things is the way he makes money. He takes that algae to the local Asian restaurants and then just makes a seaweed salad out of that.
Emily loves
The rest
that
he
shit.
puts in little baggies and sells to teenagers
Bro,
at an
Yeah.
exorbitant price.
Oh,
like
shit.
I throw this shit by a bucket full in the trash. Okay, people sell a Ziploc bag for $10.
Oh wow.
I believe it.
I'm
Why
like,
don't you sell it for
Tank
5?
shit is expensive.
yeah.
Why don't you sell it for 5? You sell him 2 Ziploc bags for 5,
I
bro.
ain't got time. Fucking
You know-
put it on online. Somebody oh, I
Weigh it out.
get the fuck
You know,
out of
Or
Arthur
just
can
stuff a
ne-
Ziploc bag. you
Arthur
know?
can never be one of the people to come at me for spending money on my computer setup
Nope.
because I can roast him about his fish.
I tried to save a fish.
Shit, just
yesterday.
rocks for a
Did it
tank.
work?
No, he died.
Motherfucker died? That little
Yeah.
bitch.
The
ungrateful motherfucker
the
decided to
medicine
die.
was too the medicine was too strong and he was already weak and he.
So you basically overdosed him on some antibiotics?
Yep, that's what it was. Parasite. He had parasites, so he was like slowly deteriorating. I was
Yeah.
like, let me catch him in the tank. He was moving. I caught him, put him in a tank with medicine. He was like upside down and shit, probably like breathing and you know.
Motherfucker thought it's a sensory deprivation tank. He's on acid, just kind of floating around.
Whatever.
At least he had a good experience before he went.
Overdosed him
probably
with some
feeling so
antibiotics. He started seeing his ancestors and shit.
Yeah, that fish.
I try to save him, but it is what it is.
It was the male, right?
Yeah, he was
because
the
he has
bully.
you have
the
a
bully.
female of the same one.
Yeah, he bullied the fuck out of the female
Oh really?
all the time.
You
Now the
should-
female's like, hey, bitch, look at me.
But she wasn't giving him
Maybe
the
she
toto.
gave him the parasite.
Yeah, she wasn't giving him the
Where-
toto, so he's like,
where did
alright.
they get a parasite like that?
So I think
is that
from another
risky in your
fish,
tank? Like,
from another fish, probably that I
Really?
bought. Yeah, usually you're supposed to quarantine them and treat them like just in case, but I fuck that. I ain't got time.
That takes time and
Fuck.
effort.
yeah, too
got
much time and
time.
effort for that. Because that would mean literally doing what you just did to this one, but for every fish you get new before
Yes.
even putting it in the tank, right?
Correct, correct. I noticed that because he has like white stringy poop. I know he had parasites instantly. And the fish are so nasty. When
Yeah.
they poop it out, the other fish will eat it, and that's how
Oh.
they get it.
Yeah, yeah.
So wait, so is that gonna fuck up your entire fish
I
tank?
hope not.
That's my
I've been-
question.
I've
That's
been-
what I'm getting to,
So
right?
I've
'Cause
been
that's what I'm
I've
worried
been
about.
feeding some garlic, like minced garlic, with their food because it's antibacterial. But
Okay.
we'll see what happens.
You can't like dose the whole tank with something.
No, we'll nuke it.
Damn.
You can do like this Metro.
That's
Met-
risky.
Metro-
That's fucking risky.
There's Metroplex, which is medicine that cures the parasite, but you can't really dose it to the tank. So people do is you do use Metroplex in the food, and then they use a binder that binds the Metroplex to the food, and they eat it. But it can have leach outs
Cause
of the medicine into the tank. and
got you.
fucking
Because
wipe
it killed the
out.
corals. What it is, right?
Yes,
It
it
nuked the
will kill
coral.
the
The fish should be fine.
Yeah, fish will be fine. It will nuke the corals.
Got you. And yeah,
You know,
Arthur doesn't just.
What's
have,
more
like,
expensive,
Coral.
coral or
Coral.
fish?
Hands down,
bro,
coral.
Yeah.
And if
Bro,
you,
colonies of coral could be
Bro,
thousands
I'm
of
s-
dollars. bro.
Arthur,
Shit.
send me a picture so I can send it. Alex.
See, the thing
your
is,
tank.
so
I've seen it on Instagram, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. his
So
tank
I
is
bought a little
insane.
frag like
Insane.
this, like I'm not kidding, half an inch, maybe quarter an inch, right? This frag, like an inch, costs like $1,500.
Jeez.
An inch, and it could take a couple years to get like a hand-sized colony. That if you fuck up one parameter, it will just disappear overnight.
Damn.
I bought it for $200 because it's like a grafted one that it's very rare to find in the wild. It's grafted, so it's like yellow green with the purple red intertwined.
If you tell me what it is, I can show them.
Rainbow splice.
Rainbow splice.
So this is what I fucking understand. This is what I learned after talking to him about the corals. Apparently, half of the shit that looks really cool in a fish tanks it's all like artificially people have grown it in their houses by like changing the lights, so they actually don't really happen in the fucking natural habitats. Like they
Like
don't.
the coolest looking
The
shit
coolest
doesn't
looking
really,
shit
It's
doesn't
just
happen. Really,
absorbing those
Yeah,
lights.
absorbing and reflecting. Yeah.
Yeah, the genetically
You can,
basically
and also a lot
modified,
of
and
shit
the
can happen.
GMOs,
Like,
that's what they
let's
are.
say you buy a coral and then you put it in your tank, right? And it could be different tank, different parameters.
rainbow splice.
Yeah, rainbow splice coral. Just put it.
So what about the parameters?
Like it'll basically every tank is different. So you could get a coral from somebody else. Look at the first picture, yeah, and then you can put it in
Like
another
this?
tank, yeah, in another tank, and it'll completely change its appearance.
That's
Yeah,
kinda
so I
cool.
got a frag of this. Like you see how the mixing is? I got a frag of that. It's still alive.
So this is what he's talking about. So you're talking about a little piece is $1,500?
Yes, an inch frag is $1,500 of this.
How much does that thing cost if you were
Oh
to buy?
shit, 10 grand probably,
That right there,
maybe more.
and it'll grow just like that one.
Yeah,
Motherfucker, why aren't you a millionaire yet?
because I only have half an inch.
That's what she said.
So you really, how much you say? 15 grand?
Yeah, for like the little nub is 1,500. So count the nubs.
Shit. Yeah, that's a lot of fucking.
Can you
nuts.
imagine?
But you can take that nub and then keep reproducing, right?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna. So right now I have a piece that's growing, and the better they look, the slower they grow.
Dave.
Yeah.
The better they look, the slower they grow. So the more complex and colorful, whatever the fuck it is. Damn, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
just like women, the better they look, the harder they are.
All right, Jay, that might just be your experience.
What do you mean?
Got him.
That just might be your experience.
Nah, bro, that's not true.
All right, I'm dipping.
Listen to this.
No, don't make him leave. Don't make him leave.
He's not,
No,
he's
no,
not, he's
I'm
not.
not. I'm not because of that. I'm leaving.
So
What time?
think about it this
Yeah,
way:
10:30,
if you
I'm
try to
just
date a
10:30,
really hot girl, do you think? And let's say you're an
See ya,
See you
accomplished,
later,
See you.
Arthur. Have a
Holly.
good night,
yeah,
brother.
let's say you're an accomplished dude and you're trying to date a really hot girl. Do you think you're the only accomplished dude she knows? There's like 10 or 20 of them around her orbiting on a daily basis. You know what I mean? So it's really hard to keep a hot girl around because you're not the only one there. I would take I would take an average girl before I would take a hot girl. I don't know, man. I think like hot girls are a pain in the ass. They really are.
I don't know. If you can find a smart one, it'd be all right.
Smart. How does that work in the same sentence?
So that's your experience.
Wow.
That's what I mean.
Oh, so listen. Another thing. Now I don't know how true this is. There's another thing. So you know how you take the bell curve, right? On average, women are smarter than men. On average, on an IQ level, right? Like where the bell curve is, like the actual
Okay.
median average. They're smarter than men are. But there are more smart men and there are more dumb men than there are smart women and like extremely smart women and extremely dumb women, right? Like our bell curve is more flat, where their
If you
bell
look
curve
at-
is more peaky.
If you look at the averages, on average, yes, a woman is smarter, right? You're
Yes.
gonna find a smarter woman. But on the masses, if you look at the masses, you have more smart men and more dumb men.
Yes,
Then you have more smart women and dumb women.
yes, that's
as
it.
simple as that.
And this is why, like, maybe there's an explanation why there's so many like chess grossmasters, like the master chess players that are men versus women, because there are some women, not because it's not a woman's sport, but because it's just
You just have more of them.
yeah. Because like the dumbest ones are like the ones that become homeless and things like that.
Something Magnus, right? You seen that guy?
Mm.
Fuck. His last name is Magnus. He is like #1 player right now.
Yeah.
Chess player, ranked. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I love
The Norwegian dude, I think he's like Norwegian or
I think,
something.
we'll look him up. Look him up.
Yeah.
And it's funny because he I always see videos of where it's like someone beat him. Someone finally like because everybody wants to beat the #1 guy. But I don't think they're beating him under like official things. They're
Well,
just kind of displaying him.
So back in the day, you had two
Magnus Carlsen.
Magnus
there.
Carlsen. There you go.
He's from Norway, I think. So back in the day, there were two good
Where's he from,
Russian
Alex?
chess players. There was Karpov and Kasparov. They were both really good. and I think it was Kasparov. So Kasparov was so good, nobody could fucking beat him. So IBM decided to make a computer that's gonna beat Kasparov. He ends up beating the computer, right? And then they finally, after like the 7th or 8th time, them designing and tinkering with the code, they designed a computer that was able to beat him. And Kasparov was like, bruh, you literally just designed a computer to beat me. You didn't design this shit for everybody else to use. You designed it to beat
For me,
like,
specifically,
for
yeah.
me specifically, right? But when Microsoft was trying to put out, like, oh, our computers are so smart that they can beat Kasparov, right? And they couldn't do it. So then they're like, whoa, we finally have the smartest computers in the world. Buy our computers, blah, 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 because they're smarter. It's like, motherfucker, you designed this computer to beat me. They're like, yes, they're the smartest, but like, literally, you designed it to beat me. Like, that's why. You know, so he was like, you know, you false advertising. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really.
Oh, I want to see Magnus Carlsen or Carlsen Magnus.
Yeah, Magnus Carlsen.
Magnus Carlsen played like ChatGPT.
Oh, I think he would have. That's a good question.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because
That's a
back
good
then
question.
he would obliterate him. But right now, motherfucker's passing the bar, bitch. Like that thing is smart.
Yeah, but
Right, that shit's making moves, playing 15,000 games while you're playing one.
Right.
so
Literally
think about
15,000.
now think about it. You know how they have those writers block, like the writers riots,
Yeah.
like that they're like refusing to do shit, right? Do you think
Yes.
it's like beneficial to them that they're writing, or they're complaining? They're gonna get replaced by ChatGPT.
They are,
Within the
but for
next
now they
5
need to
years.
like.
Next 5 years, they're gonna be gone.
There's a thing.
90% of the
For
content.
example,
is gonna
there's
be
just a lot
ChatGPT.
of these artists
AI
that are.
generated. What's
For
that?
example, do you think the AI will be able to replace podcasts?
Yes. Well, right now they're already doing the YouTube
But how
automation.
how good do you have to make that? Like, cause it would have to feel like something like this, right? Like you can tell there's flaws and it feels homey. I feel like if it's too perfect, like even you watch Joe Rogan sometimes, like, oh shit, careful, JB, what the fuck is this? I can't hear nothing. Da, da, da. Like there's shit still flaws and like things that happen. If it was AI, I don't know. You're not gonna have
So
that.
think
It's not
about
gonna
it.
feel
Let's
like
not
a
go
human.
far. What if
With
they,
music, it's very perfect. That's very, very perfect. TVs and shows, those are very, very perfect, like produced and you know what I mean, like set
Yeah.
up.
But think about it. If the AI created a
see that?
cartoon, AI created a cartoon, 2 cartoon characters, and they're having a conversation. It's non-scripted, and they're just having a conversation
Seems
like
a
us.
weapon.
Huh?
Seems looks like it could be a weapon.
Yeah, it is.
I don't want to get back.
So think about it. If he created a cartoon and they're having a conversation, somebody brings up Neil deGrasse Tyson, and then the other one's like, "Oh yeah, this is correct because of this, what he said," and they're like, "Well, no, wait, what about this?"
But how, like for example, like they've already proven to do the songs and that they can write shows because they can write very scripted dialogue. This is not scripted dialogue in any kind of way.
Yes. But if they can teach it,
And this is also at this time scripted dialogue that's kind of been pulled out of accumulation of already human created things.
Now there's a lot of podcasts that they can go and scan over and try and imitate that as close as possible.
well, right now there's YouTube automation. Literally, you can go. Sorry, you can use the Chat GPT to design what your YouTube video is going to be like. Then you can use a animation AI to create the animation, and then you can use a voiceover to put the voiceover over.
Yeah.
And it's done. It's just YouTube automation. Done. People
So-
are generating millions doing
our,
that shit.
Our podcast dream is being crushed right in front of us.
Not really.
I don't think so.
Not really. I think with that you're gonna have to evolve. So we're gonna have to evolve with that too. Like the sooner we jump on this and then try it out on a
The
background.
thing is like we were talking about, right? We talked about this the other day. People are gonna start creating fans.
Yeah.
People are really gonna like Alex. I know that. Then they're gonna like me. They're gonna like you. They're gonna like Mickey. They're gonna like Emily. Blah blah blah. And that's gonna be part of it. And I think that's what's gonna keep it relevant in a sense. And that's gonna keep all artists and content creation relevant. Is like the tie to this person, to this.
Yeah, but
actual
then that's
being.
gonna be difficult for the new ones that are trying to break out to get that. So how do the new ones break out? Because eventually that's gonna.
I mean,
get
they
phased
use
out.
an AI that helps create a script for them. So how do I make the best podcast? And then just go off of that.
Yeah,
Have an AI run everything in the background.
I've already tried asking it and gave me the topics.
I mean, true, but that's AI now.
Yeah.
But like 10, 20 years from now,
By then we'll have
I
money.
think personally, it's sad that our AI is doing the most human thing right now, and that's creation. Like when we have, so many humans that can't create because we're stuck under like how we have to fucking just continue to produce for our countries and shit like that.
Well, that's true, but I don't think majority of people are designed to create. Like there's a
Oh,
small
I don't think
minority.
so, but
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
saying, can we have more AI that's gonna go like clean the ocean or like make sure that we're automating parts?
Oh, I'm sure
Like,
if there's
I'm
money in
sure
it, there
all
will
the
be.
institutes dedicated to that are, trying to figure that out.
oh, and I bet they're like government institutes, so that's why we haven't heard about them yet.
So here's a catch 22. If the AI is going this far, and they're saying that with the newest update on an iPhone, the Siri will be able within 15 minutes it will be able to copy your exact voice or any voice you want it to be.
Yeah.
Right? The new update is gonna come in. So if they already have that, Elon Musk is making these fucking robots, right? Do you think in another 20 to 30 years there will be robots that will replace somebody's wife, somebody's husband, somebody's children?
We've seen those movies. You think, of course, it's gonna happen?
I mean, shit.
Duh,
Think about it.
Definitely.
We have video games all about that
Yeah.
plot too.
Think about
100%,
it.
it's gonna happen.
So
You
now,
didn't think people, like, for example, they talked about like the game they're gonna implicate first, like The Sims and I think Grand Theft Auto. They're gonna try with AI, right? Like people are gonna start falling in love with Sims characters.
so who you think is
I
gonna
believe
be?
that's gonna happen.
What
I
gen-
mean, there's already 4 real dolls that motherfuckers marry
There you
today.
So that's what I'm saying. That was my next question. What gender you think would be the first one to quit and say fuck you to the other gender?
Go
Ooh,
ahead.
that's
I'm
hard.
going the robot route.
Men.
I mean, men would definitely, because sex like just
Yeah.
drives most men, so they don't have to work. It does whatever they want. Some doesn't even have to speak if they don't want it programmed that way. So I would say men would go first.
Yeah, I think so.
But
too.
then again, if women can go get one that buzzes, vibrates, and fucking does circles, what they need a man for too? So
Yeah, but see, we men like don't crave the emotional attachment as much as women do. So that might be an issue there, unless they're
if it's
able
a
to
good
mimic
enough
that.
AI,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Unless it's
as
really
long as
good.
they're able to, yeah.
You know what I mean? We're fucking doomed. Just send the asteroid now. Like, why are we even doing this?
Reset again.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But that, like, I was thinking about it. Like, think about it. Like, we're already pretty like fucking segregated. Whether it's our politics, whether it's our gender, or whatever it is. Like, you know what I mean? There's already wars in between like ideologies. You throw in fucking androids into that.
You know
bruh.
what's crazy? You talk about that, right? Like segregation within everything. Man, that thing goes down to the T.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I'm in a little, like, talked about this before, like a PC gamer setup group and stuff like that, where they post shit and people ask questions, troubleshooting. Oh,
Yeah.
like, what should I get for my setup? And man, you see, like, people argue about the craziest shit. It's like, dude, you don't have to put the other person down because you don't necessarily agree with their opinion because, oh, you think that's going to bottleneck or something. Like, they all just want to, like, exactly, like, segregate, like, create two sides.
Well, see, I think
Yeah.
inherently we're all competing. No matter what you're doing, you're fucking competing. So by you competing,
But
you winning or thinking
it's
that you
We're the
won. You
pawns
wanna
in
know
the
what's funny?
corporate competition.
But guess what? If you will approach more scenarios without the competing mentality, you'll win more.
yes,
Exactly.
that's been
There you go.
proven.
There you go.
That's
It's
been
just like the
proven.
whole iPhone versus Android thing.
I'll
like,
win. I'll
Hey,
win.
it's always
more.
better. Like, I'm never gonna admit this. I'm never gonna admit this in a group chat of the boys that I'm in. But Android is a smarter phone. Like, hands
Well,
down.
I mean, they have
Hands
better
down,
specs.
No, that just
Always
they're
had better
smart-
specs.
Yeah, they're a smarter phone. They're life.
everything's always revolutionary.
Yes.
iPhone gets it 7 years later.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm still in that group chat. Gonna say that.
But
iPhone
may I
is superior.
say that, like, I have used both. Right, I
have
had
used them
my
too.
first smartphone. My first 3 smartphones were Android with Samsung, right? And there's something about the cleanness of
Of
the
an iPhone?
Apple setup I enjoy.
You like the Apple GUI better?
Yeah. So, like, for example, iCloud setup and just with the iPads and their UI, their user interface is very, very clean. back in the day when I was with Android, it was a little more scattered because you had more freedom. That's the actual.
True, you could change it if you wanted to.
That's the actual reality of that. It's why it's more complicated is because you can get more into the nitty gritty. You could fucking. I remember I was putting fucking ROMs on my shit to run something that
allegedly
that didn't even look like Android, and then I would run emulators fucking of games. I would do anything. I used to break the shit out of all my Androids, and that makes it in a sense because you have more freedom.
What was that?
Costs a little more complicated, right? Because you have more shit to do.
What's that chat? XDC or where you get all the fucking roaming? There's I will go in those chats to fucking figure out which one is the better to roam the phone, to go to this, to that. Yeah. But every time you did that, after 2 weeks, you had to flash the shit back to normal.
It never ran clean for too long.
Never did.
It never ran clean for too long.
Fucking ran first.
It's just enough for you to show your friend and be like, that's cool. And then you're like, all right.
A week, you're like, the fuck?
Yeah, it shit never works. Yeah. But the only one thing that I did back in the day, my brother got a Nintendo, one of those old school Nintendos they used to put a cartridge in to play those games. Or was it
the N64 with the weird ass controller, or Nintendo, the older?
The PlayStation one. It was a PS something. It was like a handheld one.
PSP. Or PS Vita. I think those are. Well, they actually just announced another handheld.
So PSP or PS Vita, I don't remember exactly, but one of those. I fucking jailbroke it and I could download fucking bunch of games and like put it on there and play them like actual games, you know. I kind of miss those days, you know. They were fun. God of War, I've played fucking first time I ever played God of War was on that, you know. So it's kind of that's where I got hooked into God of War.
A lot of people did that with their Switch until Nintendo released a new brand that kept you from being able to jailbreak it.
So, so you got the old PSP. That's what I'm showing here. But I want to see if they've released Sony's Project Q. That's what it's called.
So what I've seen, I don't know if it's actual.
I'm gonna show this because I think
footage.
Real quick.
But it looks like a tiny iPad between a PS5 controller.
Yep, that's exactly what we're looking at here. Posted by CNET. Interesting. Very interesting. Access, but
now all this shit is fun, you know, fun and games, no pun intended. But I don't know if I would buy one again. You know what I mean? Like now, where I am in my life, like I don't know if I would get one.
Really?
I mean, you don't really game.
Yeah, well, I used to. I used to game just as much as you did. Guys. Just as much, if not more. Like I would every single free time I had, that was on a fucking computer, on an Xbox or a computer. You know.
I'd say a couple months ago, he came over on one of the Fridays, and he spent 3 hours on Modern Warfare 2 on the campaign.
2.
Hell yeah!
But I never.
Everybody was like, "Did Jay leave?" He's like, "Nope, he's inside playing."
Yeah. It brought me back to my fucking childhood, and that was enough to like go another couple of years without playing again.
No, I mean, shit. I really enjoy video games. I think that's just gonna be a part of me for a really long time, just because of like what it does for me. Like, it's kind of like a therapy and also just like a hangout. Both things at the same time because I enjoy a lot. I spend a lot of time with Alex, Justin, Calvin, all my friends, and Natalie, all of them playing a bunch of different games. And yeah, it's just like hanging out with the boys, like how we're sitting here talking out. We do during while we're playing, like talking bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, it's no different. It really is no different, right. Except for like, it's just like you saying, "Hey boys, you guys want to go play pool tonight at the bar and just chill?" It's kind of the same thing.
Oh, by the way, I got one of my friends. I talked to him yesterday. He's like, "Yeah, just let me know. I'll come in on a pod." He works for one of the other financial companies. He's an actual advisor, so I'm gonna have him come in. Okay. Super smart kid, plays chess. Super nice guy. He's also a real estate investor too, so I think that'll be like a lot of value for people like to watch if they wanted to get into it.
Let's do it.
Let's have him on. So that's gonna be another.
We got Tommy set up for Tuesday. I've been meaning. I want to reach out to my friend Michael. I told you about a while back. We're gonna have him on, but his schedule's a little all over the place. Yeah. The time that he hit me up, we had somebody. I want to hit him up and see when we can get him on again. And we gotta reach out to a couple more people too.
maybe like this Thursday I want to say I really want to like watch that YouTube pod that I sent.
Yeah.
Let's try to watch it. Like even if you put it on double speed, if you don't catch everything, that's fine. Like just
I can
get the
put
gist
it
of it.
while I'm working or whatever, or playing games.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you said PBD, right?
It's PBD. Yeah. I think it was a pretty good. No.
Who were they with?
So this investigative journalist, this chick pretty much dedicated her entire life to investigative journalism, and she has like actual sources from like government, like censored.
Her name's
documents and
Whitney
shit.
Webb.
Whitney Webb, yeah. So and she's got 2 books. Her second book just came out, the volume 2. I think the first one is like One Nation Under Blackmail, volume 1, and then there's a One Nation Under Blackmail, volume 2. And she talks about how everything like from back in the day and how Epstein's Island and how all that was all connected from from back in the day. Like she goes back to like 1800s and like connects dots between these politicians like Marilyn Monroe, Kennedy's, like half of them how they were sleeping with like boys and shit like
You know
that
what I
and getting
just
blackmailed for things to get
You know
done.
what I just noticed?
Hmm.
This whole stream and everything has been running off Wi-Fi the whole time as well here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing good.
Seems
We're doing real good.
Seems to be doing just fine.
Yeah. So I think like if we watch that podcast, that'd be really cool to talk about it, to see what your opinions are about it, because I think it's like it opened my
I'm down.
eyes.
Let's put it
on
I mean, I'll listen to it and we'll talk about it Thursday.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a pretty good pod. But other than that, what you got going on, Alex, so far?
Shit, you know me. I don't go nowhere. I don't do shit. I've just been playing the new Zelda game.
Yeah, how's that? I saw it being advertised on the highway.
Yeah, it's basically a big puzzle game with really hard fucking combat.
Yeah, because I've
They
played the very first, not the very first original Zelda, but very first remake of Zelda, where it was more like a third person, where it was still kind of like cartoonish. You would like shoot at like these pirates and shit with like arrows and stuff like that.
That's still kind of
Yeah.
like the style of game now, right? I never played any of it.
I mean, if you're talking about like the Ocarina of Time kind of era where it was a lot, it's not as like clean as it is now. Now it's like hella into depth combat while you can still use all your puzzles and shit.
No, the one that I played was, you know how Zelda was created to begin with, right? And then after a while, it kind of
Yeah.
stopped, and then they did a remake. That's the Zelda I played, the remake. So if I don't know.
But I don't know if you played Breath of the Wild or seen the first one. This is basically just the new rebrand of Zelda.
No,
now it's
yeah.
a whole like open world experience now. Hell, I compare it to like Dark Souls Elden Ring because it really is like that level of hard.
Really?
But they say it's a kid's game.
It's that level of hard?
You start out with 3 fucking hearts and barely any stamina, and then unless you go out and actually like solve the puzzles, do the little temples or all that, like shit can one shot you in areas. And like it's a little more simplistic. You don't have to like memorize like motions and phases and stuff, but like shit's in depth when it comes to combat.
You know, I realized I think I can play single player games again. Like I was playing Jedi, but I couldn't get into it. It's not. The game's not that in depth to where it kept catching my interest. It's very like just gets you here and then just plateaus. And it's the same.
It's a
game.
very good story, but
it's
it's
very good story.
a very repetitive game.
There you go. Like you're just doing the same thing over and over and over.
So let me ask you this, Alex. Shift from the games. Do you guys have like a date night with your wife? Do you do that?
They do, I think, right?
Yeah. When there's a movie out that we want to go see, or like, you know, if she's not busy on one of my off days, we'll like just spend the day together in bed.
All right. Okay, that makes sense.
But like,
because they say like every.
I'm not into like clubbing and shit like that, so
Is that what
we ain't going to the clubs and shit.
does she do though? Once in a while.
If she wants to go, she'll go with her friends. But other than that, yeah.
Because they say like every.
Even then, she's like, I fucking hated that I went to the club.
Yeah, it's like that thing. They tried to get me to go. I don't like going, and they tried to get me to go the other day, and Kevin and Gabriela were going. They don't like going either, and I'm going, why are you guys going? And you go to remind ourselves why we don't like it again. And I go,
Sometimes you gotta remind yourself.
and I was like, okay, but you already know. You already know you're not gonna have a good time. Like you just have like the want to go and.
So if you go in, here's the thing: if you go into
I
the
don't know. I
club,
don't
you
enjoy
gotta
it.
go there. Like here's the thing with the clubs: like why did everyone goes to the club and it's capped that they go there to fucking dance? They don't. You know, you go to the club for that attention, you know, and things like that. You know, and I think you, in my opinion, if you go to the club, like you gotta have a girl with you, at least one or two, that you're gonna be like dancing with, drinking, and like doing all that stuff with. You know what I mean? Like you gotta be there. Like if you go in there on your own, it just kind of fucking sucks. Like it's a really terrible place to be. It really
It can
is.
also be seen as creepy if you're trying to pick up chicks, and
Yes.
you're like it's a lot easier to be like, oh yeah, there's my friends, even if they're male.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just be like, I'm not the creep that comes out alone.
Yeah, because
kind
you
of
can
thing.
be like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Blah blah, and then be like, hey, you want to go hang out with me and my friends over here? It's not just like you're just this solo dude trying to create this atmosphere that's not there.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Exactly right. So, I don't know. Like, I like the bars better at this point because you get to sit down and talk shit, you know. But even that I don't like too much. I'll go out
I like this.
just to go, you know.
I'm sorry. I like this. Like I like just sitting and talking. And if we want to have a drink, let's have a drink right here, right now.
Yeah, but you gotta remember, I'm single, so I'm always on a lookout.
I get that. But go do your stuff. But like, for example, you want to go hang out. Like, for example, I actually enjoy the clubs in Medellin because what do? We sit at a couch
Yeah.
and we hang out and drink. And then if you want to get up and do whatever, you get up and do whatever. But you have a place to sit down and chill. I hate the club setting of where you're standing in the middle of a room
Yes.
and you're trying to dance and have a good time, but you have nowhere. You're watching you're having to fucking watch over your shoulder, right? I'm with my girl, so I'm having to watch over her because sadly, Emily's very like, in a sense, like shadow sheltered, like, cause she's like very quick to leave her phone somewhere, drop her purse, and be like, "Oh, cause I'm tired of holding on to it." Well, you can't fucking just leave it there right now,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Little things like that. So I'm having to watch out for that. And then she's also a young, pretty girl, so I'm having to watch out for fucking weirdos. And I hate that. I really do hate that.
Yeah, no, I get it. No, that makes total sense. Like, you know, nights in like clubs and nightclubs are like, you know, if you do go out with a girl to the nightclub, you know, it's there for like 2 hours just to do the little whole dance thing that we did go to the nightclub. I gave you the little
I'm down
dance
for that.
experience. It's time to get the fuck out now.
I'm down for an hour or two
Yeah.
going and doing the shit. But when it starts to become 3-4 hours in the same place, I'm standing there. Fuck that.
Oh yeah.
And none of them want to go for just 2 hours. None.
So I want to talk about this thing. This
Alex can hear the frustration in my voice.
Yeah, no, I agree.
This thing right here. This thing. The binky.
Your chin, your jaw strengthener.
Yeah. So did I say already? Did I already
No,
talk
we haven't
about this?
talked
No, I just know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So this called Jaws. Like I didn't get it. 'Cause they're advertising like it's gonna give you that fucking chisel jaw and this
I mean,
and that.
hey, the guy that they have doing the fucking videos has like literally no fucking fat at all around his jaw, but then he's got these fucking balls on the side of his jaw because of the muscle he's built up. I'm assuming he's been doing it for who knows how long.
I don't
at this
think
point.
it's because of the muscle that he.
I mean, he's
built
gotta
up.
have a genetically like a pretty straight jaw.
Yes, that's what
But
it
I'm
is.
sure like those fucking shits that flex there, that's built up. That's definitely built up.
I don't think so. I think there's some of it that's built up. I agree.
Yeah.
But the thing is, for you to get that jaw like they're advertising, you can't. You got to be like your body fat composition.
Yeah,
has to
like
be
for example,
really
that's a
low,
very
right?
like I'm sure you're not gonna get one where you look exactly like him. That's
Yeah.
you
So
know,
basically,
that's
what I'm saying is
different.
like if you buying this just to get that chisel jaw is bullshit. Not gonna happen, unless you fucking lose weight and you know you're naturally gonna start bone is gonna come out, and then you use this if you're missing some, right? Like you get the muscle going. But what they were talking about, I was listening to fucking Huberman, and Huberman was saying that this thing, literally like that, the tension that it gives you as you go like up and down in your mouth, that tension when you build these jaws, it'll actually change the structure of your face and bones, where it makes you breathe better and chew your food better and things like that, which makes you sleep better. Like it actually changes the whole structure of your jaw.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I got it. I was like, well, shit, because he's like, well, you know, remember back in the days we didn't really cook with meat and we with fire, and if we did cook with fire, like it was a lot more hard food to eat. Now we just fucking make everything soft as shit. Like in comparison, like the food that we have right now to what the food used to be, like we're just like basically drinking soup through the straw, right? Like that would be the comparison. So it's like this actually like brings you back to what your jaw's supposed to be like jaw muscle is supposed to be like, to maintain a healthy skull bone structure. So I don't know, and I've been noticing that my cheeks have grown a little bit right here, which with my fat ass looks like I just even fatter now. You know what I mean? It's giving the opposite effect, you know. But anytime I do smile, then that just dumps in, and then you can see like these just come out, like you know what I mean, like that. So I don't know what the end result is gonna be. I might fucking ruin my face with this, but it is what it is. Continue.
I mean, it does. It literally
Thank you,
restructures your jaw.
Uh-huh.
They were talking about, people who sleep with their mouth with that also that sleep with their mouths open and are mouth breathers while they're awake also develop a restructured jaw
Yeah.
because you're constantly like that.
Yeah.
When your natural position is supposed to be like tucked.
Closed. Yeah. Tucked. Yeah. So I don't know, man. We see with this. I'm hoping with this like sleep study and this thing, like I can finally get some sleep. And
the funny thing was actually, they said it actually makes you less attractive.
What?
Breathing with your mouth open.
Yeah.
That jaw restructure that it does, that creates your face, was seemed to be less attractive.
Interesting. And it all has to do with fucking weight. That's literally what it is. Like I was talking to the doctor today. He's like, yeah, I'm trying to go down to 175. He turns around, looks at me, laughs at me. I was like, why are you laughing at me? He's like, because the amount of muscle you have on you, it's going to be virtually impossible for you to keep that weight at 175. He goes, you're just going to go down to that and you're going to yo-yo back up. And then I have this scale that I get on, and I'm at 15%. Like overall, it says 19% body fat, which is not good. Like you should be really at between 12 to about a 15, you know? So I don't know, man. Like, so that's not a lot of weight. I want to go down 20 pounds, but it looks like I won't be able to.
I'll tell you this much. Your scale really can't tell you.
Yeah, you know.
You know, you have to measure yourself.
With calipers and shit.
And then also, they have a method to really do it the correct way. It's like with the water.
The cold water. It's a special temperature water that you get on this like a scale type of thing, and they just like lower you in.
Yep. If you really want to get to the nitty gritty, not only do you have to like measure and do the whole thing that you have. Remember?
Calipers.
Yeah. There you go.
But I do want to drop 20 pounds. I don't know if it'll be successful, but I think I can do 10. I can do 10, and I can be at 185, and I think it'll be good.
I would like to get to under 210. Is the way, like if I were to set like a goal, I would like to get under 210 because I'm at 235 now, 230 around there. So I would like to get like 210. So there you go, like 25 pounds. I think that'd be fine.
Yeah. I mean, ideally, if you can go under 200, probably better.
But from what I've heard, I always say like, yeah, but probably. But they say like, from how tall I am, I'd probably be good there.
So as long as you see, here's the thing: as long as you're fucking healthy, your cholesterol is fine, your blood pressure is fine, you're not having any.
I got my
issues.
blood checked and everything lately, and everything's good.
And you're young right now, so you should be okay. It's just you're gonna need to worry about it when you start getting older, because then your metabolism slows down and your testosterone levels go down. So I gotta go back again to doctor and have him do my testosterone and estrogen levels just to see where
I need to go check. I want to go talk to him about my stomach because since I've had the whole heart thing, I've developed this thing of almost like not constant nausea, but it's kind of like a slight like pit in my stomach.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's
I know
like
exactly
that.
what you're talking about.
I've had it for the past few months since I've had the whole thing with my heart.
You have to drink water. As you drink water, it goes away.
Ooh, and when it gets bad, like for example, there's times when I feel like I'm like ready to throw up. Not ready to throw up, but like it's getting bad.
Yeah, it's like a pit.
And it hurts.
Like,
it hurts. And I have to drink water,
exactly.
and then the water hurts at first, but it brings it down.
Yeah,
that happens a lot. But
right
now
exactly
I have it. Like I have a small pit in my stomach, kind of like slightest nausea. I've just gotten used to it.
That happens to me when I overeat for a couple of days, and right before sleep, that shit happens to me all the time.
It's weird because I have it constantly, and then I just kind of gotten used to it, and then it gets worse either when I eat too much or when I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Either or, it'll get worse.
Yeah, so that's why I want to check all my levels. I want to make sure everything is still good.
It sounded similar to what I was reading. You heard Gordon Ryan is out indefinitely.
Yes. Well, they said he's out for a while. They didn't say indefinitely.
I saw it said indefinitely.
His stomach issues came back.
Yeah. So his whole story, Gordon Ryan, basically for those who don't know, is basically the no-gi Brazilian jiu-jitsu
right now
goat.
probably the best.
Right?
Best
They
jiu-jitsu.
recognize him as the best guy for no-gi Brazilian jiu-jitsu, right? And he has had stomach problems for a long time. He was to start the story basically, he had something going on. They thought he had gastroparesis.
Mm-hmm.
They misdiagnosed him. They gave him antibiotics for over a year for gastroparesis. They caused a bacterial imbalance in his stomach, and accompanied by that was a fungal infection in his small intestine. This guy was all kinds of fucked up when it comes to your stomach. And he was talking about, like, you know, he had so many matches and so many training times where he was sitting there going, I don't know if I'm going to throw up on this guy right now. Like, I'm having to, like, sit here and just relax because I don't know if I go to move right now, I might throw up. Like my stomach is that fucking nauseous right now.
I can take blood or sweat, but you throw up on me in a fight.
Game over. I'm
Game
not-
over.
I'm tapping. I'm tapping.
Yeah, like, and so apparently I don't know what he did to get better, but he was better and competing again, and then now it's worse apparently. I don't know. We'll see if the GOAT returns.
You know, could it be the allegedly the gear as well? Because that motherfucker's not natty. There's no way.
But that's not alleged.
Yeah, that motherfucker's not natty.
He says it.
Oh, he does? I've never read.
Oh yeah, they don't care because it's allowed in the sport. Like, there's no testing for that shit. They're all openly on gear. All of those guys. You think the guys he's competing with aren't on it? They're on it.
Yeah.
They're on it. I mean, if you're gonna go fucking compete against the GOAT and you know the GOAT's on gear and they're allowed to give you gear, you're not gonna fucking take the hell yeah, you're gonna take the gear to compete against the GOAT. I mean, what else makes sense? They tell you we can put concrete in your gloves against Muhammad Ali. Fucking give me it. I mean, it's Muhammad Ali, you know what I mean, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I don't know, man. I don't know, like, the whole gear thing. But I do tell you that, bro, like, from what I understand, when you're on it, when your levels are high like that, you just, like, you're on another level.
I'm sure those guys I mean, I know he's working with the best doctors in the world, like, for his stomach. But I'm sure those guys are also, like, keeping up with their blood work, making sure they're not fucking up with their stuff by taking too much tests or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
I for a fact and I'm sure if that's something that would be bad, he would instantly be like, all right, I'm stopping. I don't think that, because imagine this: would you rather take the test and have a little more strength and endurance and recovery, or be nauseous during a match? I'm sure he'd rather, okay, fuck it, I can't take the gear, but at least I can feel good.
Yeah.
So.
And also, like, how do you not take gear?
How do you not?
Like, when you're training fucking every day, 2-3 times.
And you seen the fucking dude? He looks like a gladiator.
Recover, yeah.
He literally looks like a gladiator.
Yeah, he does have, like, veins on his abs, bro.
Yeah, he's got the 8-pack where he has the other 2 up here as well, like where a lot of people don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know what I got. I think I got something. I don't know what it is. I've never seen it. There's
it's
another.
buried.
A long torso, but it's very rare, right?
So here's the thing. What do you think there's more in the world? Millionaires or people that have 6-packs?
People that have 6-packs.
What do you think, Alex? Don't Google it.
I mean, I would say 6-packs.
It's actually millionaires. There are more millionaires in the world than people that have 6-packs.
I'm not surprised.
Can you imagine that shit?
Fucking 6-packs are a goddamn job.
Yeah.
Like, you have to monitor what you eat. Make sure you're not feeling bloated that day.
Yeah.
Like, make sure you're not drinking alcohol. Like,
ever.
I had a 6-pack for a bit, and I said, fuck that shit.
Ever.
No.
Yeah.
You married me, and I fed you too much.
That is also true. My wife fucking cooks. My wife cooks too well.
Oh shit! What did she cook?
I heard her. She said, "You married me, and I feed you."
What did she cook?
Shit. What doesn't she cook? She cooks everything.
I
Like,
saw a couple
anytime.
of the meals that she posted on your Insta, right? That's her. I saw one of them.
Yeah.
You said
Yeah.
my soon to be.
What's like the signature?
She hits me with the fried chicken a lot, and that's
Oh,
just
shit.
fucking.
How do you do it? How do you do that? Like at home in a fryer or in a pan?
And what part of the chicken do you prefer, my friend? That's another question.
Bro, legs,
That's
thighs,
hard.
and wings, man. Like that's
Yeah,
the juiciest shit.
exactly.
Like, how
If
do you
it's
go
got the
wrong with that?
bone in it, that
Yeah.
makes it just so much better.
So you guys are flats versus drums, right? You guys like the flats? Or you like
Yes,
the drums? I like
yes.
flats. I'll take flats every day.
Nah, I'll
versus
take
drums.
either
I'll
or.
fuck up flats all day.
Because I
Like
like
you know that just like
because
just take it all off the bone.
I love how it froze right when you gotta say. No, like I think the flat actually has better flavor.
To me, they both taste the same.
Just like for example, you can argue the thigh has way better flavor than the breast.
All right. Well,
You know what I mean?
so how did she do? Like she like batters them? Is that how? And then deep fries
Yeah,
them, or
does
like
it
in a
all
pan?
batter, fries it. So she does it. Sometimes she fucking she cooks it in a pressure cooker. Like
Wait,
I don't know.
what?
I don't know how she does it. She just like I'll be either at work or minding my own business. She'll show up with a plate, and I'll just be like, "Thank you."
Okay. And does she do the batter,
Accepted.
like the seasoning, the batter seasoning and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Our
that's kind of cool.
seasoning cabinet's overflowing with shit.
Okay, what else does she cook?
Shit. One time she cooked a whole like soul food meal, like greens,
Yeah.
fucking
She can do
casserole.
she can do the collard greens.
Oh yeah.
Damn, that's
oh
cool.
yeah. She
Now
gets a
that's
turkey
cool.
neck. Puts so good.
That's
So
good.
good.
Like I've had a lot of collard greens that were shit. The one of the best collard greens I've ever had was like passing Florida Georgia line. I think there was this like fucking hole in a wall in the nowhere land of barbecue place, and that lady just whipped up some fucking collard greens and mac and cheese. That shit was on another level.
It's funny we're talking about soul food. My mom made oxtail
Yes,
today, so
bro, that thing is delicious. One of my
Nice.
favorite. Yeah.
yeah, it's very famous in all the Caribbean islands. Like
What's your wife's heritage? Like going back, Islander or
I mean, she's black, so like wherever she came from or her family came from, it's been long lost.
I
So
gotcha. I see what you're saying.
yeah,
yeah,
Okay, but she grew up in the South, or not really?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that
She was
makes
born
sense.
in South Carolina,
where were you born?
Tennessee.
In a hospital.
In the hospital, right? Yeah. How did you guys meet again? Your
Tinder.
dating app, right? Yeah, right.
Oh, Tinder.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah,
That's cool.
we
So why not
we
turn
smashed.
one night turned
kinda
into a
didn't.
lifetime?
Yeah,
There you go.
you know, sometimes that sneaky link just kind of stays around.
So you telling me she was into the white
shit.
devil?
I mean, she does like herself some white chocolate.
He fed it to her, so she.
I've been told.
I've been told.
There's
yeah.
rumors out there.
About what?
The size between my legs.
Oh. There was this I was watching this there's this reel of this lady. She's crying. She's like, what does she say? I'm dick crazy. I'm crazy because of that dick. My guy gives me the dick to make me crazy, and she's like crying that he's not at home.
That reminds me of that joke. There's this Dominican podcast called, I think it's Novel Puppies. These guys, right? They're hilarious. They're hilarious. I'll translate the joke to an English. It's not as funny because there's accents involved. Like there's the girl's a Haitian, right? So he's got a Haitian accent. The doctor, the old Dominican doctor accent, bullshit. Anyways, the joke is basically this Haitian lady goes to the doctor and says, "Look, when I have sex with my husband, his shit is way too big and it hurts. It hurts. I feel it all the way in my heart, right? I feel it all the way up here. And we need it. What can we do, doctor?" And doctor said, "Well, we can have your husband come in and, maybe take some out, and, maybe it only come to your belly button. Like, we don't have to go as far as your heart." And she goes, No, doctor, no. You think we can move my heart a little bit over so we can still keep it as big as it is?
Yeah.
They want it.
I mean,
And see, this is what I think about when the girl said, "Oh, I'm just gonna go get a boob reduction." Bitch, how would you feel if I went and got a dick reduction? You know what I mean? Like, how would that? You know what I mean?
You also have to understand, like we talked about the other day, and you were valid to this, the back problems that come from that. Your dick doesn't hurt your lower back.
Listen, you designed to carry children for 9 months, even heavier than that.
9 months, but the fucking jugs that some of them have for lifetimes, fuck up their back.
Fuck with my fun bags. That's all I have to say.
I prefer a nice ass.
Yeah, we had this
We talked about
conversation.
this.
Yeah, we had this conversation.
I'm with Jay. I like proportions.
Yes,
You know?
like it has to be
Proportion is
proportionate.
nice, yeah,
right?
but
like, cause see, like they did the study, right? Like, and they asked the guys, what type of body would you like? And the type of body the guys selected was like a very the hourglass shape, but very like a non-realistic waistline. Like the actual waistline was way smaller than what natural waistlines usually are, right? And they're saying that's because of like that demonstrates that she can bury children better because her hips are so wide in comparison to her waist that it just almost increases. Like she doesn't look too big, right? Like she's normal size, but her waist is so small that the hips look so much bigger proportionally. But I don't like that.
I don't know how that translates over. How they would understand that that's gonna make her bear children better.
Well,
I don't know.
Wider hips, because hips separate. So if you have smaller hips and there's that baby coming out, like the chance of her survival are pretty slim.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because the wider hips,
Or it's gonna hurt a lot more.
A lot more. Yeah.
Because you gotta that pelvis to get out.
Yeah.
So that's why they're saying, because some ladies, they won't even let them give like the natural birth because they're like, yeah, you'll fucking die. You or the baby will die.
I mean, birthing hips have been a thing since like early like kingdoms. Like,
gotcha.
Even if like the queen didn't have her birthing hips, the king would go bastardize a bunch of children with women that do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why like that the hips been a thing. But to me, like if there's like too much boobs or too much ass, like to me it's like, I mean, like I get it, I appreciate it, it's nice to grab onto it, but just like aesthetically for me, like just seeing, not it. Like, but then I'm also fucking dyslexic, right? Like when I walk in there fucking like tiles and shit, I try not to step on lines. I try to be right in the middle of the tile. Like it bugs me if I step on a line. You know what I mean?
That's how to break your mom's back.
Huh?
You never heard of that one?
No.
Step on a crack, break your mom's back.
Yeah. That was like a thing as a kid, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why that became a thing, but like it was. As a kid,
you get mad at your mom and go stomp that shit.
I was like, you were with your friends and you'd say it, and you'd all avoid stepping on cracks as you were walking or whatever.
No, there was not friends. That was just me avoiding everything. And my friends, why do you walk funny? Shut up, bro. Like, leave me the fuck alone, Because, like, your steps sometimes on the line with a tile, you know what I mean?
Looking at the floor as he's walking, like...
Yeah. Like, sometimes it's a little faster. What if, like, these tiles are much bigger? Like, you know what I mean? Couple of feet.
What is the grout? Fucking lava, my friend? Like
I don't fucking know, man. I don't like stepping on it.
Oh my.
Did you have to touch every tile, or could you skip some?
No, I didn't mind skipping them as long as it's not on a line. Like as long as I don't hit the line. Sometimes I would have to take wider steps just to skip a tile because I knew my foot would land on a line. But if I took smaller steps, then I wouldn't go as fast. So like, like you had to kind of like guess which way you're going, And then you would get tired. Then you start taking a little smaller steps,
Ready, Jay? I'm gonna hit you with the. You sound like a female.
Why? That makes no sense.
Because making that just so complicated. Just walk, motherfucker.
He's particular about how he walks.
I tried to defend him.
It's a little OCD thing.
Yeah, it's an OCD thing. That's
definitely.
Definitely. It's an OCD thing. I don't think like today I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and we're talking about. I was like, like to me sometimes women are like children. Like sometimes you have to like fucking just like, what are you doing? Like, you make zero sense. Like, that's funny you say that. Because me and my friend, when we talk about guys, we always say that guys are like children. And I sat there and I fucking stopped there for a minute and I'm thinking, I was like, why would she fucking say that? Like, that makes logically no fucking sense. And then I realized what she's talking about. Like, if you think about it, we, in comparison to them, emotionally are fucking children. Because we don't get half of the fucking emotions they do. Because when they saying that, they're talking about our like emotional level of like,
It's in a different way than what
yeah,
we're saying.
but when we're
Yeah,
saying,
I feel like we interpret it different.
There
I
you
don't,
go.
we
Yes.
still get the same amount of chemicals that cause it. We're just interpreting it different.
yeah, so and to us, we interpret a lot of things logically before we even go to the emotions. So to us, is like, well, why are you being a child? You know, because like, how do you not get this? Like, why do I need to tell you don't put your purse just in a random place in a nightclub? Like, how do you not get this? You know what I mean? But to them, is just like, yeah, whatever. Like, it is what it is. You know, like whatever floats the boat. You know. So
I don't
I was
know.
like, that makes sense. You know. So I don't know, man. But yeah, it's difficult. Like, you know, this is why I'm saying, like, this is why I brought up the Android talk.
Yeah.
Like, if the androids are there, like, suddenly all these issues disappear. Like the turn off the nagging.
Hey, AI's already been able to sell nudes
Yes,
on OnlyFans.
they have.
Really?
Yes, they have.
Mm-hmm.
AI created girls selling nudes. Yep. Yep.
I need to have a conversation with ChatGPT.
Trying to make some money.
Shit.
Oh shit, we didn't get to talk about this Tuesday, but
What?
DeSantis and the Galactic Hotel
Oh,
in
okay.
Disney.
So
So
go ahead.
go ahead.
Okay. So to give background, you can tell the story. Just give background. Basically, a couple of years back, they introduced this new thing at Disney World here in there's a
Florida.
Disney World Orlando. I don't fucking know. In Orlando, right? It's like they call it the Galactic Star Cruiser. It was like a resort that was part of like the whole Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
I remember they were building it when I went with Emily for our anniversary a few years back. It's like, oh, that's so cool. I want to go and stay. Even if it's expensive, I want to do it. But bro, when I saw how expensive it was, it's like, shit,
I don't want
I'm
to do
good.
it anymore.
I'm good.
I
I'm
don't want to
good.
do it anymore.
I'd rather do
You said
way
6K a night,
more.
right?
It was $6K for like
Get
2
the
days.
fuck
Yeah.
out, man.
Or 6K a night
Jesus.
for 2 people, some shit like that. Yeah. It was crazy. But yeah, go into given the politics side, Alex.
So there was a bunch of memes coming out when they were closing it saying it's because it was too expensive,
right.
which drove people to investigate further, learning that there was backroom meetings since DeSantis has been coming after Disney so hard politically that they're going to financially move it out of Orlando and to another location so it brings the tourism there. That also uncovered that Disney is going to unback a $1 billion business complex that would have brought a bunch of employees from California to Florida, paying Florida taxes. So,
You know,
like I said to Eddie, DeSantis thought he was the Dark Souls boss, but Disney was like, bitch, please.
so you know what I saw actually yesterday, I think it was, that they're actually Disney's not gonna leave completely, right? They still have their parks there, and they're gonna do something.
They
with
can't.
that.
That's too many billions
right?
of dollars.
They're gonna do something
Yeah.
with what they did with Galactic Star Cruiser. You know what I heard? A Mandalorian themed like area, I guess, to try and make the money back. Because if you go to Disney now and you go to the Star Wars area, there's nothing there for the Mandalorian. Because they had designed and did all that while Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau were still in the progress of developing the show. I think probably first season was releasing around the same time that they were doing this, so there was no way that they were going to implicate it because they didn't know if it was going to stick or not. Could have been a fucking.
The whole area was built for Rey, right?
There you go.
And like
Yeah.
that part.
And the last Skywalker trilogy. That's what that was built for.
So I have a question. Do you think DeSantis and the posse didn't sit down and consider all this before them coming out like so hard after Disney?
I definitely do. But
I think they did. They just didn't care.
There you go, because they've always been fighting back and
No,
forth.
what I'm saying is they sat down and they said, you know, if we do this, we're gonna lose X amount of money because there's no
They
way.
know 100%.
There's no way Disney would even have those plans unless they knew that they're able to build this complex, right? The $1 billion complex.
What I'm trying to say
Yeah.
though is they're having to bail on it.
So I don't know if they bailed on
They
it or
are-
they're
they
just
are.
like, you know what? It doesn't hurt us as much as you think it's gonna hurt. It will hurt, but it's not that big of a deal because it's gonna win me this many votes.
But ready? So what?
Well, he's already announced on Twitter. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, yeah.
So DeSantis is running for president, even though all the fucking technical issues that stopped him from announcing on Twitter.
Well,
It was a shit show.
Yeah, he kept saying that I'm gonna announce, and they wouldn't do it, wouldn't do it, and then they finally did it. Like, you know,
On a Spaces, whatever
yeah,
Twitter's calling that, where it's like a group chat, Discord kind of thing, but like servers kept dropping, kept getting overloaded, speakers kept getting dropped. Like even Elon Musk could be heard in the background whispering about trying to fix shit.
All I can
It was
say
pretty bad.
is what
It was bad.
All the information I received from this, what values to me, is that I know that I'm getting a Mandalorian themed area that's gonna be more value to me when I go to Disney.
instead of 6 fucking.
Why would
for
they
2
not?
nights.
It's their most popular fucking thing right now.
100%.
Like,
100%.
Well,
Why
so-
do you think they're gonna do an Avengers style thing? Because they need the fucking clout. There's no other reason. I mean, they're gonna pick up on what Dave Filoni and Favreau are producing. Like, okay, every Star Wars fan, anybody that's new to Star Wars, like for example, even Justin was like, Mandalorian was great. He doesn't fucking like Star Wars. Everybody likes the show. Everybody who sits down and watches the show likes the show. So,
Well, so here's the thing that I have. I don't want to bring this to the political on the tail end of our thing because we've been already going with 2 hours now.
yeah, we're a little
But
past.
so right now, who do you have as choices? Kennedy Jr., right?
From what I've heard, right?
Trump, DeSantis.
DeSantis, another senator out of, I can't remember which
Exactly.
state, but
Exactly.
they shortly did it before DeSantis announced.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You know, you can't.
And
remember
Nikki
the name.
Haley.
Nikki Haley.
And this is just all on the right.
Yes, on the right.
Well, technically Kennedy says he's a Democrat, but
Oh, no,
he doesn't have
Yeah, he
Democratic.
doesn't have a single drop of Democratic blood in him. But but what about on the left? Who do we have on the left?
Biden.
Biden.
No, the DNC's
Byron.
not going to put anyone up against Byron.
Byron, Joe
Like,
Biden.
we might have some people announced to try to get a VP slot, but I doubt the DNC is going to put anyone against Byron.
So, with that being said, we got
Bing
Byron, and then we got this. So, go Harambe? Like Kanye 2024? Like, what are we doing
I
here?
don't know.
Oh yeah, it's going to be the battle of the old ×2 because
I'm
right
gonna-
now, well, go ahead.
I'm gonna
Byron
have
is
one
gone.
big
Like
fat-
Byron is completely gone. Like
One big
he
fat
ain't
answer
there.
when people ask me, who'd you vote for this year?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's all I'm gonna have to say.
But I mean, I hate to be that guy that says go vote. You kind of have to go vote. But who do you vote
Yes.
for?
There you go. That's the
Like,
question.
who the fuck do you vote for?
I get the whole thing of like go vote, but like
And it's not
who
even
do
like
I vote
pick
for?
the,
Because
and
I
it's
don't.
not even pick the one, the best out of the
That's
worst.
evils.
Like they're
It's
equally.
pick the
worse.
dumpster fire or the shit sandwich, and you just gotta choose which one
No, no.
aligns with what you.
I don't
Yeah,
think
which one
that's
you
the
wanna
case
eat
because
for
if
the
you're
next 4
hungry
years,
enough, you would
maybe
eat the
8.
shit sandwich. You wouldn't want to jump in a dumpster fire. It's a dumpster. It's a shit sandwich inside a dumpster fire. That's what this is. You know what I mean?
You're in a dumpster fire and you have
Eating
like
shit sandwich. That's what you're doing right now.
one's on a baguette,
I mean,
one's on some butter bread. That's really it.
Yeah.
right? Exactly. Because the best example is like a lot on the right try to say that the border's open, the border's open, the border's open, but Biden hasn't changed any of Trump's policies when it comes to the border. And that was like denying asylum ship and like shit like that.
Wait, right?
So it's not open.
Right is saying that, or the left is saying that?
The right is saying that the border's open. But in reality, Biden has done absolutely nothing to change any of Trump's policies that were in place about the border. So it's still, Trump policies are still intact. So if the border is open, then that means Trump policies are the reason that it's open.
Or they just want more strictness than what it was. than
Oh
what it
yeah,
is.
Biden does not want people coming into the border. Biden is a corporate Democrat and he knows it. Like, that's why it's a shit sandwich in the dumpster fire, you know?
So I mean, even if he's a corporate Democrat, it is what it is. I get it, but you can't. I don't know how would you vote for Byron when he basically
Bing
doesn't
bong.
function.
I mean, come on. The other option is Trump.
I mean,
See,
He
that-
can't string
ready,
a sentence
ready,
together either.
Ready? That's my point. Ready? Okay. Maybe you're absolutely right when it comes to he's a little bit more past than Mr. Trump, right? But what are they? Less than 5 years apart. He's still old, and he's gonna be.
Trump's gonna be the age that Biden was when they ran together or ran against each other in 16 when they were saying Biden was too old to run. So like,
there you go.
No, I get that, but I'm not saying Trump. I'm not saying Trump.
And my thing is ready. I believe that the exaggeration placed on Byron's disability to function is the same exaggeration placed on a lot of people saying Trump, putting Trump towards racist. Not saying that he's not racist, and not saying Byron's not disabled, but like it's just very exaggerated. Can we not say, right? Like on both sides. So it's kind of just like you just want to pick like what the other person's doing bad and then like blow it up.
Well,
right?
yeah, that's always been the game, right?
Right.
Like,
There you go.
Smear campaigns. Smear campaigns are all been.
So let's look at it as a whole. Look at it as a whole. Fuck the smear campaigns. Let's look at it as a whole. The guy's still less than he's like 4.5 years younger than him. He's gonna be his age when he's at the end of this presidency.
He is.
Like so.
That's
I mean,
that's another reason why I don't like.
And does the
both of
motherfucker
them.
not stutter too?
So who
Yeah,
do
he
you
does.
vote for? This is my question. Who do you vote for?
You know,
if we had a better system, we could have a graph system where you can vote out percentiles and then we can actually see what the populace wanted. A lot of states are adopting that with local elections, and it's actually working. But we don't have that system when it comes nationally. So like I said, you just got to pick the one that is closest enough to how you agree with.
Well, see, this is the question, though. That's fine, but then again, even if we do that system, you're still not getting the other candidates. Like maybe it's a libertarian party, maybe it's somebody else's party. You know what I mean? That I might agree
Well, with the
better
graph
with.
system, it's multiple votes where you take the percentiles and you slowly break down to who's winning the biggest percentile. It's basically what the midterms kind of do, but we have a lot more options. It's a lot more percentiles instead of just one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
So like more parties are able to get on the ticket, like the Green Party and stuff like that, because they have more of a percentile of getting voted for, because there's more votes.
Yeah, but even in doing that, do you think that would for the presidency? Do you think that would fly?
I mean, yes,
eventually,
because it works in other countries.
yeah, but they eventually come in and say, well, I'm gonna run as Democrat or I'm gonna run as Republican. Like even if they are within that party, they don't say I'm running as Green. Then they choose a side that they're gonna run as, because the majority is going to go either Republican or Democrat.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Like, but that's our partisan system. Like, that system would allow more like independent parties to come in, but if we're still like in that bipartisan mindset, we're gonna just beat out to Democrat and Republican.
But I think there's more to it than just Republican and Democrats, especially after like listening to that podcast and trying to read that book, man. I think there's just so much more that we have no fucking clue about, and I think that book is just the peak of the iceberg. Like there's the whole fucking entire thing.
Thinking earlier,
like 99.9% that's still under the water. We have no fucking idea about.
I was thinking earlier, Trump just stutters with money.
Yeah, he does.
that's the only reason they don't attack him about it.
And DeSantis now running, and he's gonna run against Trump, and you know what's gonna happen, right? Trump is gonna fucking throw the book at him.
Oh,
and DeSantis,
he's already calling
did.
Rob.
He already did, right?
Yep. They're making new fucking insults for DeSantis right now. Yeah. He's polling in select polls. He's polling a little bit above Trump. And then Fox News posted that he's polling above Trump, and Trump went to Truth Social to call him a bunch of names and misname him like Rob. So it's going to be a lot of now will DeSantis attack Trump is my question, because he's gonna have to. If he wants to win, he's gonna have to.
And we don't know DeSantis to be that, but he's pretty calm and composed.
But
This
he's
is
he's a
and-
politician.
And yeah, he's a politician. And guess what? I love that when you watch them, you can see them attack each other. The moment the other one wins, they back him.
Yeah.
That's just how that works.
I just want to see a national stage where Trump asked DeSantis what it was like to shove tacos into Guantanamo Bay prisoners' assholes. I feel like that would be a great question.
Trump would do it. Trump
But
would
I
do
don't
it.
think DeSantis so much of a combat though.
No, he was in Guantanamo Bay and doing fucked up shit to prisoners.
I don't think
He didn't see much combat.
I think he was in Guantanamo.
He was a
Bay.
part. You know those pictures that came out
Yeah.
of when they were abusing. He was a part of that unit.
Yeah, but I don't think I don't see him. I think he might have been there, might have had some clerical work. Like I don't.
The
see him
man
being-
eats
having that kind
pudding
of
cups
cojones.
with 3 fingers in front of people. He's a weird motherfucker.
What do you mean?
His staff tell him to be likable when he's doing like speeches and shit.
You heard what he said?
The
He
man's
said he-
strange.
With pudding, he doesn't grab a spoon. He just
3 fingers in front of people,
Like
when he's out and
like
about.
mashed potatoes and shit.
like a pudding cup.
Oh, out of the put. He went.
The snackums or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
He eats pudding with fingers.
And then licks his fingers clean while he's trying to conversate with people.
And then wants to shake your hand.
That's a psychopath right there, bro.
You know, I always noticed,
Bro.
So I used to think of this back in the day, and I was like, okay, I bite my nails too. I do, but I do it in times now. I make sure that I was like, if I'm chilling in my room and then I usually wash my hands or whatever. But I always pick up on that now. I see someone biting their hands, like I'm not fucking shaking your hand, motherfucker, and I'll give him a fist bump.
Oh, I stopped shaking people's hands. It's all fist bumps now. I stopped shaking people's hands.
Yeah.
Unless I know for a fact your motherfucking ass is clean. You know, you haven't been holding your dick in your right or left hand. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? For a minute. You know, that's the only time. But other than that, that's all just pop, pop. You know, I ain't got time.
I remember, being Hispanic, it was weird. Like, remember getting to parties and it feeling rude during Corona. Not parties, but like getting places and feeling rude not to say hi.
Oh, like give a kiss on the cheek and
Or
shit.
a
Yeah, I know
handshake.
that. Yeah.
I mean, just getting there and going, hi, everybody, from far away. It felt rude. It's just like my standard, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're like, I don't want to kill people, so
There you go.
So yesterday I
Right.
was watching a podcast and there was this guy, John or Joe Zerka. He's like self-proclaimed. They had him over as a guest, so he's like he straight up says, "I'm a misogynist. I hate fucking women," and he was on this podcast and he's fucking roasting these girls like to the nth degree. And he was talking about the vaccines and the whole pandemic and things like that, and how and the turns around to one of the girls is like, I bet if I went to your Twitter feed, you were one of those that said like, put the masks on because you're killing my grandma. You know, they gave that vaccine to your grandma before they gave it to the rats. What are you talking about? He goes, they tested it on your grandma. Bro, it's just hilarious. And, you know, you got people like that are pushing, like, you know, Trump this, Trump that, you know.
I heard Neil talk about that. He said, why are you guys saying they didn't test it? Oh, well, vaccine testing is supposed to be for a year and a half, 3 years, whatever they said. He's like, okay, that's your standard to vaccine testing, but doesn't mean they didn't test it in general. They still tested it for, 7-9 months?
Yeah.
Something like that. And so he's like, the people that say they didn't test it at all is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, they still tested
I think that
it.
was on PBD. I remember that
Was it
when he was like,
PBD?
yeah, because the SARS virus has been around, so we've already had so much genetic
Well,
testing
did you
on it.
see?
That
Did you
too.
see? Washington Post came out and apologized for saying that it escaped.
The crazy part is...
They saying that it was a lab thing for sure.
Mhm.
And
Well,
there's-
the Washington Post is owned by Rupert Murdoch, who just paid like, what was it, $787 million for defamation. So he's trying to not lie.
yeah, and then he came and apologized for the research data too. They apologized
What's
for
crazy
both,
is that,
like the misinformation stuff. Like
Yeah,
where
like,
they're saying
you-
like it, you know. So they pretty much came out and apologized and said that like the statistics that we're putting out were wrong.
during social media, during the pandemic, social media was in like a weird spot where if you said anything kind of towards against
They
the,
fucking were saying that you like
they
you have
ban
blood
your
on your
ass
fingers
and
pretty much.
you're like way against everything. And then now a lot of that stuff that was being said and you were getting shadow banned for is coming out to be true, and like That's as simple as that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so that was a weird spot. You know, people are kind of blowing past that they were just,
Yeah.
silencing all this
we
shit.
were in a world pandemic. We
Oh,
haven't been in one
what do you-
since the
okay, so
Spanish flu. People were scared.
Let me ask you this: what have you heard?
Prophets were scared too.
So June 3rd, or like the whole Capitol thing, right? Like the storming of the
January
Capitol.
6th.
January 6th. There we go. What have you heard? Apparently, there was this guy that was either FBI or CIA agent that's been caught on video, or January 5th, encouraging people to go to the Capitol, like pushing people to do that on Twitter and things like that. And then he's there telling people what to do. He was in the front lines, like telling these people, and he was on FBI's most wanted list. They caught him, and then they released him, and now he's nowhere to be found. Like his name disappeared.
I don't know about the
And
catch and release, but I do know that there were like high officials and even senators that bust people in and were like, so after this we're going to the Capitol, just so you know.
No. This one was like that. This guy was like egging people on to do this, and also they were saying that there were cops that would there are videos of cops that would check the doors within a Capitol building, and if it was locked, they would go get the key and unlock it.
Really?
Yes, and then
I
there
haven't
was that.
seen any of that.
Then one that guy, that shaman guy, right? Apparently, there's a video of him or picture with 2 cops in a room on his own. They don't arrest him. Then there's another video that he passes by 9 different cops. They don't arrest him. So basically, what they're saying, the conspiracy realm, is that like the actual FBI and CIA was heavily involved in what was happening, and they were actually letting this happen.
I mean, I'd believe it. Trump had everyone from up to the Department of Justice ready for this.
Well, no. Well, here's the thing, because Trump, yeah, that's fine. Trump had them, yeah, that's fine. But is it Trump or is it the other side? We don't know. That's the thing. That's the thing that
Who's the
bothers
other
me.
side? The Trump supporters?
No.
In a
The
Trump elected FBI
No.
that was appointed multiple times by Trump?
I'm talking about, is it Trump
Different
or
people?
the opposition
Why would the opposition want it?
to make
How
him
would
look
the
like-
opposition-
to make him look stupid?
So they went
That's
to
a really big muse by the
go
opposition.
destroy the Capitol because they were wanting him to look stupid instead of they were mad about the election results.
I don't think the opposition gaslit this. I don't think so.
Now, that is actually a talking point on the right, especially the extreme right with QAnon, that this was all Antifa, this was all the Democrats trying to make it look stupid. But in reality, we look at who was arrested, it's far right extremist groups.
Yeah. Then there was that lady that was shot, Jessica Babbitt,
Ashley, I think.
or
but
Ashley
yeah.
Babbitt, or something like
Yeah.
that. For
Yeah.
like, I don't know why
Well,
she was shot. Like, I don't know that.
She was justifiably shot. They had
I
built a
don't know.
barricade. She was told multiple times not to come through that barricade. She broke a window. She was then told multiple times not to continue through that window, and the officer justifiably shot her.
Yeah, I
It
don't know
was
that.
deemed in court a justifiable shooting.
Yeah, but see, how do we consider that deeming in court as justifiable shooting? But then we're going against like other things, like, oh, this is unjustifiable. That's police brutality. Like, can we cherry pick these things?
No, you take the situation,
That's what
look
the
at all
court
the
is.
factors. Yeah, you
Well,
take
yeah,
the
but
situation,
then
look at all
there's
the
so many
factors.
cases that like they're like justifiable.
And we had
get
multiple
that.
camera angles
No,
of
I
the
understand.
shooting.
I understand, but that happens again. But they're like, no. This is police brutality.
This is the thing. When it comes to police brutality, you have more people getting away with it than you have an exaggeration of people where it's like, oh, that actually didn't happen like that, and this cop is
Right.
being wrongly convicted. That doesn't happen. Most
Or
of the
they're
time-
seeing that there was
maybe
no
there is
ask for compliance.
Maybe there is a small portion. I would say that there is probably cops that were wrongly prosecuted.
Mhm.
But the majority of the situation when you have talking about police brutality is the cops that are not prosecuted when they are doing something wrong.
I mean, cops barely get prosecuted, even coming to
Exactly,
the court.
so-
they have their
So
unions
So what you're
and
saying?
stuff to
This
protect them.
this was a good case, where the other ones are bad cases.
What do you mean?
Well, I
good
mean,
case?
it's a
So
case
this-
by
this-
case
no,
this-
situation.
Yeah.
This justification, oh yeah, well,
Yeah,
so
that's
she's
a
saying
justified
this
shooting,
justification
yeah.
was a good justification, where other justifications are bad.
Yeah, you didn't really have a
I
real
mean-
justified reason to shoot the person or be brutal or whatever.
Right? We have video evidence of cops pulling people out of their cars
Mm-hmm.
and forcing them into situations that they're not legally allowed to.
Yeah.
And then when resistance happens, they just pull their gun and start shooting.
There you go. That's not.
That's not justified. You know, we have people that shoot people in the back.
And then
If you
that
go
same,
to,
that same cop will get away with it in court
if he even sees court.
if he even sees court.
Because like, see, because I'm seeing the same thing like for both sides. Like both sides are blaming the other side.
Yeah, one justifiably.
Well, yes, but see, like we're saying justifiably, but then they have their own proof that's saying no, it's not justifiable.
But see, that's the thing. We
But
have
We can all
one
we can
side
all-
with a bunch of unjustified shootings and one justified shooting.
There you go.
When you hear one side screaming Ashley Babbitt over and over again, but you look at Brianna, everyone, the list goes on and on and on of unjustified
Breonna Taylor,
shootings.
Breonna Taylor's situation. So the Breonna Taylor situation, if I understand this correctly, when the cops walked in a house, there was a guy that was there, the guy, the boyfriend, right? The boyfriend was who they were looking for. And they were saying that she did pull a gun out and was gonna shoot back, and that's why they shot him. But then one of the FBI agents did get prosecuted because he started shooting what she wasn't supposed to do. So as these cops are entering, Breonna Taylor straight ahead, they're shooting straight this way. This cop tried to shoot this way, which the bullets flew into the other apartment. That guy got prosecuted for incorrectly shooting. He did get prosecuted because he said that guy endangered a bunch of other people. That FBI agent.
It was a warrantless raid that happened because she had received a package from someone that they were looking for.
Correct. Her boyfriend.
Their first
Her boyfriend was a
their
drug
first
dealer.
option was to start shooting. Her boyfriend was not. It
Her
might have been
boyfriend
an
was a
ex
drug
or
dealer.
something.
Or
but
ex-boyfriend or whatever, whoever. But if I don't remember the exact correct thing, but they're saying that they said gun, 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 and that's what they started shooting. Because they thought that Breonna Taylor or whoever that was in the dark had a weapon. Because they shot back from that side. They're bullets from that side, I
mean,
think, no?
if you had people break into your house that aren't screaming police, 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 what are you thinking?
Yeah, but a lot of times you have to understand, like, if this is a sting operation, they're not coming in announced. That's the whole idea of a sting operation, not come in announced. That makes no sense. Why would you announce that you're doing a sting operation?
See,
Why would
that's-
you go into a place that has a legally armed gun and not expect to get shot breaking in without being like, we are the police?
There you go.
That's why no-knock warrants are deemed unjustifiable.
Well,
because
I don't agree with that, because I think if it's a criminal, no-knock warrants are probably justifiable.
You ready for this? But what about when these no-knock warrants are done in the wrong house, which happens constantly?
all the time.
Yeah.
Constantly, right? And then when this no-knock warrant is done in the wrong house, and this next thing you know, they come in my house and I shoot them with my Glock. What the fuck? You get it?
No, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get it, but they knew exactly that Breonna Taylor was in that house.
I get it. That's the
They
person
knew
look-
exactly who was in that house.
That's the person they're looking for. But at the same time, anybody's gonna react like
And
that.
Breonna Taylor was
They're using
connected.
military tactics on civilians.
Yes, because these civilians, number one, Breonna Taylor was also connected to being part of that drug ring by selling and doing those things.
I
She
don't know
was.
where you got your news from, but okay.
No, she was though. That's the whole court case, right? Like she was connected to the guy.
I don't know anything about this case.
That's what I'm saying.
I do say we should cut it though. We are getting to that 2-hour and 40-minute mark.
Like I'm not saying she should have gotten shot, but at the same time, it's a very difficult situation when you're going into that thing. Like this is their job; they have to do it.
I don't know how it all happened, so I'm not sure.
I don't know.
So, thank you for everybody who came in to talk with us today in the chat. Thank you for Alex and my co-host for joining me today. You guys
Good
have
about art.
and Arthur, right? Thank you for coming in, Arthur, today.
That pendejo.
Yeah, he left early on us about an hour ago, motherfucker. Well, yeah, thank you guys for coming in. Appreciate you, Alex. Yeah, well, this is a nice
Tuesday.
day.
We'll do Tuesday. Yeah, it's been through 2 hours.
Alex, you know you're welcome on any time. Y'all have a good night. Appreciate it.